What's up, y'all? You know
what time it is. It's about to be that time. Alright. Couple minutes behind. Wanted to make sure I had something to eat before we got into this. Because the last chapter, we ended up talking for a while. So, first things first, I want to thank Chrissy for using her Bari Bari no Mi this week and like going into my YouTube comments and hiding anybody that wanted to spoil me on purpose, you know. So, man, honestly, I have to say that this was one of the hardest weeks as a YouTube content creator, you know, like doing One Piece content. The way everything was hyped up, man. Shout out to Blazing Blue. He said, "Love you, Randy. Keep up the amazing work. You're going to love the chapter. Go to Peak Fiction." Awesome. Thanks, Blazing Blue. Man, so yeah, this was one of the hardest weeks because like I literally like I had to turn off notifications for Twitter. I had to turn off notifications for YouTube. Literally, people were trying to, like, according to Chrissy, because I mean I wasn't looking at anything. People were like actively trying to say things about the chapter to me. Man, what a time. All right, so unfortunately I'm not really looking at the chat much. I will, you know, after we read the chapter. Nest One Us, it's about to be that time. You know it's about to be that time. Thank you. Thank you. So let's I'm gonna pull the chapter up, get my OST going. Bear with me, everybody. Bear with me. All right. I hope everybody had a good week. I hope there were some that remained unspoiled by this. And here we go. Yep. All right. It's that time, people. Warrior of Liberation. All right, so that sounds like we are going to get some Luffy this week. I was hoping that we just stayed with Kaido. You know, kind of went into that, just sat in that dread. You know, it's, let's see. I really, the main thing I want to see from this is before we even get into some Luffy stuff, I want to see the rest of the Straw Hats reacting to what Kaido is saying that Luffy is dead. That's one of the things I want. Shout out to the over 800 people in here. Like the stream. Nemix Ultima joined the channel. Thank you. Thank you. All right. This is interesting. This cover page is interesting. Mama's out at sea. Let's start our research. Oh, man. Okay, so first of all, so we have the pumpkin guy. I'm sorry, I don't remember all 65 of Big Mom's kids' names, but I do remember this pumpkin guy. I don't know if... I don't recognize this one in the front with the big top hat that looks like the mayor from Nightmare Before Christmas. And then this other girl with a ice cream cone on her head. I don't know, I mean, does she have octopus legs? Oh, man, that's not looking good for evil. Unless she's a fishman. We might have the Taku Taku no Mi right there. You're gonna have to really hope that that Blackbeard's got the mythical Akuro Kamui, or rather than just a regular Taku Taku no Mi. All right, first page. Here we go. Getting into it. We're really here. It's about to get spicy.
It's about to get spicy.
All right, what's happening? How can I still stand? A resounding pulse. I just lost, but I feel like I'm having a blast. Momo shook. Luffy is Joy Boy. Zunisha said that? Oh, wow. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Now, I'm sure everybody will be talking about it, but the numbers for this chapter, 10, 4, 4, Ju, Shi, Shi, Luffy's laugh is Shi, Shi, right? So maybe we'll get some Shi, Shi in going on here. Yes! Sanji! All right. Oh, my. Oh, my. Our boy's got we've got a we've got a Zoro and Hiyori situation going on here. Oh man, Pudding's not gonna like this. Sir Pirate, you're awake. Luffy is. Now, let's see. I'm zooming in, guys. I'm zooming in because I'm trying to find Chuji. He's got to be here somewhere. The lurking legend Chuji. Hashtag free Chuji. All right. Live floor. What the? Is that Sir Straw Hat? Got Marco. Hey, you two. He's still breathing. Luffy's still alive. Okay. So this is kind of ruining the tension a little bit for me personally. I would have preferred them to, like, sit in what we got in the last chapter a little longer, but, you know, I trust Oda. Oh. Mary Joa. All right. Switch the background. Because now we're in a different area. We're in a different area. I happen to have the Mary Joa background since I use it for the theory for theories. The Holy Land Mary Joa. We sacrificed one of our best agents and enraged Kaido. Yep. R.I.P. Dripper Scarfino. Gone, but never forgotten. Never forgotten. We sure our priorities are straight. This may be better than the alternative. It's imperative that we snuff out something this problematic. No matter the era, the world government has always failed to acquire the Gomu Gomu fruit. Even after 800 years of trying. Okay. It's almost as if the fruit itself is evading us. Well, that's not impossible. All Zoan fruits have a will of their own. And this one carries the name of a god. After all, the Gomu Gomu fruit is really a mythical Zoan. The human fruit, the Hito Hito, model Nika. Wait a second, are we getting a Joy Boy flashback? Hold on. Is this, are we going back to Luffy here? Is that him in the sun, or is this, like, Joy Boy? Its user's body gains the properties of rubber. In combat, they're supposedly only limited by their imagination. Putting smiles on faces far and wide, they are the embodiment of the warrior of liberation. Sun God, Nika, awakening exponentially, strengthens their rubbery body, and they have even more freedom. people. I'm not even moving to the next page yet. Oh. All right. So it wasn't the resin fruit. All right. But if his body gains the properties of rubber, then it's still possible that he's able to do a lot of the stuff that we talked about in the last video. Now, I'm just glad it's not Sun Wukong. It's, you know, not all this other stuff. This is interesting, and it lines up with Sengoku, right? Mythical Zoan, Hito Hito, Model Daibutsu, the Great Buddha, right? So this is lining up with this. Oda created his own god and gave it a fruit. This is interesting. All right. This fruit is allegedly the most ridiculous power in the world. All right. That's Oda right there. You know, because that's, you know, he's talking about how he chose it. He chose it to be ridiculous. He chose it to be ridiculous. Alright. We're back to Onigashima. Treasure repository. Oh, Hiyori! Yeah! Let's get some. Come on. Come on.
Komurasaki, I really admired Odin. Think about what you're doing. It was all Kaido. He was using me. We can still run away together. Just remove these nails and...
You spat in the face of a samurai you owed. Who would still believe you? My father kept his promise. Did he not? Tell him, Hiyori, tell him. Come on. He danced like a fool for 5 long years because he thought you and Kaido would honor the secret arrangement you made in Free Wano. He never even told his own family. My father was a man who kept his word. He still expected the same of you when you agreed to let them go. If he withstood being boiled for an entire hour, even while his body was being burned by the oil. Despite it, he always smiled, always. Can't even fathom your father's suffering. He had to shoulder the burden by himself because the entire nation was your hostage. Ooh, flashback time. What's the matter, Hiyori? Father, are you really okay with what everyone says about you? Of course I am. You know why? Because I have you guys. Really? Then I swear I'll always be here for you.
Ah, yes, I have always said Odin was a great samurai. As Shogun, I can ensure his legacy is recognized. Your father...
Ah, there goes the mask. The tears of Hiyori. This is an amazing panel. We knew she'd be crying underneath the underneath the mask. Hold your tongue, you miserable wretch. I am Kozuki Hiyori.
Yeah!
I was always proud to carry my father's name, even when I was starving and covered in rags. You, on the other hand, never a trace of honor. Every day you were Shogun was one too many, and as each day passed, more and more lives were lost. Come on, kill him, Hiyori, kill him. Kill him. Do it, get those hands dirty. Come on. Wait, stop. Don't do something you're going to regret. Seeking revenge is a
dated ideology, you know. Besides, killing me makes no difference. Kaido will still be unbeatable. Orochi-sama, I have failed.
Alright. So, Kazenbo, still alive, heading to Orochi. That's another one.
Is that you, Kanjuro?
This is as far as I go.
Your timing is impeccable. This is the ideal stage for your real final performance. Burn that woman to ash. Go on, take a goof. The failed revenge of a shrew, 20 years in the making. It's the perfect title for a tragic comedy. Take a look, Hiyori. A Kozuki survivor should know the fortune favors the mighty.
I didn't hit that.
Orochi-sama.
Ah! Ha, ha, ha. Burn him! Burn him! Okay. Okay. I can get with this. I can get with this. The dawn will come.
Kanjuro, you idiot! Hiyori saved me, it burns!
The Kozuki clan always keeps its promises. If that's the way that Orochi goes out, that's satisfying. Alright, we're back to Luffy. I feel like anything's possible now. I can keep fighting a bit longer. My heartbeat sounds funny. This is my peak. This is Gear 5th. Wow. Look at him. He looks ridiculous. I mean, that's what he's supposed to look like. I really wasn't expecting Gear 5th. Alright, Kaido. He's moving around, he's doing his thing.
Ah. Hey, you guys.
What the hell is that? It's on the roof. Are we gonna get a reveal of him? Is Oda gonna tease this out, or are we gonna get a reveal? Alright. What's happening? Conqueror's Haki. Where's it coming from? He's shooting Conqueror's Haki from the roof? Giant fist grabbing a giant dragon? Full size manipulation, please? Oh, wow. Look at him. This Kaido panel where his eyes are doing the Looney Tunes thing, though? Oh my god. Alright. Next page. Wow. Look how different Luffy looks. Just in this panel. Yep, he's doing the she. Yep. There we go, 1044. He's she-sheing. We have 1,800 people in here? Holy. Oh, wow. We have peaked. That is the highest we've ever had. Oh, wow. Even more Looney Tunes stuff. I wonder... Oh, God. I wonder if that's part of the ability. It just turns everything into Looney Tunes. Oh, wow. This spinning thing of Kaido. This looks ridiculous. This is how, like, Oda draws Momonosuke. Okay. Alright. He's crashing Kaido down. Luffy's laughing. Straw Hat, so you're still alive. I'm grateful. Blast breath. Okay, Oda's going overboard with the Looney Tunes right now. Everybody's got the Looney Tunes eyes. Oda's having a blast.
Savage.
Did he just pull a rubber wall? Or is he lifting, or is he just lifting it up? Is he just lifting the world? Shout out to Jaden for the sub. Thanks to everybody that's subbing. Wow. Alright, well, I did say he was going to start, emulating Mr. 3 and creating walls, so we got something like that. But this is outlandish. the way he's maneuvering his body. There we go. There we go. There it is. The panel. Gear 5th. He looks like the silhouette of Sun God Nika. I wonder if his hair is on fire. He's got the steam billowing that signifies that he's some sort of a deity. Wow. His eyes, so different. Sorry about that idiot from before. I didn't want to win like that. This man's apologizing. Hey. Put some respect on Dripper Scarfino's name over here, Kaido. If he's just like, don't sweat it. Let's finish this. The battle reaches its finale. Next issue, cover and color spread. Let's see these colored pages. Let's see what people have been doing with these colored pages. Even in color, it's funny with the Looney Tunes spinning around. Oh man, this is gonna be so much fun animated. Oh wow. Wow. It's a new era, boys and girls. It's a new era. It's a new era. It's a new era. It's a new era. 2,000 people? Oh my god, this is the first 2,000 people stream. What's up, everybody? What's up? You know what time it is.
What's up, y'all? You know what time it is?
It's about to be that time. It is that time. We're here. It's already that time. It's already that time.
Savage.
It's already that time. Oh man. Wow. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. You know how, like, anybody that wants to, like, clickbait with their videos is like, this changes everything, right? This is the only time that that's going to be accepted, because this does change everything. This literally has changed everything that we could possibly think about for the past 25 years. All right, literally everything has changed, and oh man, oh man, oh wow. Well, so
Another one.
played myself on it being the Jushi no Mi, right? But I still think that there is a possibility that we could we could totally still get that. We could totally still get that.
Savage.
Like the resin capabilities, the natural form of rubber, that could still happen. But oh man, wow.
Another one.
But I'm gonna take my W that I was very adamant when people said that the Gorosei were not talking about Luffy. I said, no, they are talking about Luffy. They are. I said, context is key there. The most ridiculous power in the world?
Savage.
Oh my god, alright. Okay. Level 5 hype train. Yeah, if this was Twitch, we'd definitely be on a huge hype train here. All right, let's get into these chats. Nick Can't Snipe said, incredible chapter, 11 out of 10. But the entire Hiyori Orochi scene was misplaced. I'm sure 96% of people didn't care for it. Having Kazembo kill Orochi is meh. I loved it. I loved it. I honestly, I mean, like, I was super excited about the Luffy stuff, but I was living for that Hiyori and Orochi stuff. So I'm a part of that 4% that really cared for the Hiyori bit. My guy Evo Warrior, member for 11 months, on the fence about the mythical Zoan reveal, but so far mostly looks like rubber powers with the name of a god and not a god fruit as much. Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely get into all of that. Lou Patterson, member for 11 months, said, what a time to be alive. Yeah. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. Sophelia said, we did it, let's party. Has always reminded me of the Popeye, the Sailor Man theme. Interesting. Yeah, I do love We Did It. I do love that song. John Ross said, I was smiling ear to ear this whole chapter. I wanted a serious power-up, something menacing, but this is so much better. It's perfect for Luffy. I would love to see more fake tunnel tune tricks. You know what? This is exactly what I would expect from Luffy's ultimate power-up. For it to just be as ridiculous as possible. Kenneth Lingdo said, my man Dripper just gave his life to awaken Joy Boy. He sure did. And Gorosei should be sweating. They should be sweating. Nick Can't Snipe said, does this mean the gears are like Chopper's point system? This is the only time the clickbait is 1,000% justified. Yeah, it kind of seems that way. I mean, if he's a Hito model, then, like, all of his different forms are just sort of transformations. I wonder what... Now I want to see Luffy eat a Rumble Ball, right? Gilbert Walker said, huge power-up. Is Luffy straight up flying now? I mean, I think anything is possible now at this point, so... Carl Newman, resin is too restrictive, bro. Luffy's got cartoon powers now, an infinite well of creativity.
Another one.
Yeah, and I believe that the resin parts of rubber are going to be part of that infinite well of creativity. So, this is the way that everybody gets everything that they wanted. DJ BJ32 said, me and a bud said he's now Plastic Man from DC, the most OP power ever. I mean, a lot of people have been waiting for the Plastic Man, Mr. Fantastic kind of stuff, so I'm here for it. I'm here for it. And, you know, I was even, you know, posting images of, you know, not Plastic Man, but Mr. Fantastic, and saying, like, this is what we could see. And we kind of got a little bit of that, where, the, you know, the limbs are, like, sort of all over the place. Diz of the Ghost, member for 10 months, move over Looney Tunes. Luffy Tunes has arrived. That's amazing.
Savage.
We need to trademark that. My guy Najib Makeem, member for 11 months. I was here. This is so damn perfect. Love it even more when I'm wrong moment. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Also, I'm an OG member from day one. I don't know why it says 7 months. Oh no, it says 11 months. So, you're good, bro. I know you're an OG member. Yeah, like I always say, love it when I'm right, love it even more when I'm wrong. Give me these Luffy tunes. Give me these Luffy tunes. We here. My guy, the Hidden Islands, in here. He said, personally, couldn't be happier with what the power-up ended up being. Toon Force has so much potential. I'm with you, my guy. I'm with you. Amrit Singh. Does this open the possibility of Blackbeard's power being mythical Zoan model Kraken, with the Yami Yami no Mi being a cover with its black spray and suction?
Another one.
Ooh. I mean, you know, even Evil in his video said that talked about the darkness sort of being ink. So that's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah. But there's also a, something that I brought up in my Blackbeard Fate video, which also kind of got into the Blackbeard could potentially be an octopus thing, is there is the the mythology of the Akurokamui, which I think that if Oda was going to go anything, I don't know if he'd go exactly the Kraken or if he would go with the Akurokamui. Because it's almost like a darker sort of Kraken in a way. So, Mr. Hyena said, "Could you read my last 2 super chats?" Yeah, I mean, obviously, as you can see, I'm going through all of them, and you know, as long as it takes, I'll get through all of them. Ian McLaughlin said, Kaido still needs to be beat for all that he's done. Yes, but Luffy is about to bring the smile back to a man whose introduction was his suicide. Yeah, Kaido's getting a little bit of that life back in him. Brandon King, Monkey D. Goofy. I like that too. 1044 is so epic. Also, only limited by his imagination. Explains Shave, Gear 2nd, Fire Fist, Red Hawk, and even Ruskaina Animals, Gear 4th. Yeah, so, you know, if he's able to produce rubber or anything like that, that is going to enhance his imagination even more, like I was talking in the last video, where he could literally become sort of like a toy man. So, you know, we could get that as well. Mojo Rising, member for 10 months. Been reading One Piece since 05, and my mind is blown. Oda pulled a Roger and asked us to turn the world upside down with him. Yeah, man. As someone that's been here since 02, I'm like, I haven't even had a chance to really process all of this. Atlas K, member for 11 months. Luffy as Joy Boy brings laughter and happiness to people he saves, and us readers. Oda's outdone himself. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Still got 1,900 people in here. What's up, party people? Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Like the stream. Like the stream. PK Jew. I just put Orochi, Blunt, Kurozumi pack strong. MD Funky Cow. Imagine if this chapter was an April Fool's joke. I mean, technically this is the chapter before April Fool's, right? Let's see. Conrad, thanks for being here, man. Mark Oderso. How much do you think Yamato knows about Joy Boy already, since Yamato was clearly shocked this chapter? Well, I mean, we were told that, you know, there's at least one missing page, if not more, from the journal. So I think that they know the importance of Joy Boy, but, you know, maybe not, you know, exactly what Joy Boy represents. Potentially. So we'll see. Ace2532, Orochi literally got set ablaze because Kanjuro thought the two made a suicide pact when Kazemba was created. Talk about poetic justice at its finest. Yes. Yes. It's honestly, it's the perfect way for him to go out. Nobody's hands are really dirty. Oda feels satisfied by it. You know, we in here. You know, maybe this kind of explains why Roger laughed. All of this Looney Tunes business? Maybe that... I don't know. Something to think about, something to talk about. T-Bomber74. I don't know if it's Toon Force necessarily. It's Goofy for sure, but all Luffy is doing is personal size manipulation and turning the ground stretchy. Yeah, well, you know, he's just learning what his bag of tricks is, so, you know, we'll see what happens here. What about Luffy's eyebrows in Gear 5th? They have the Sanji swirl. What? Oh, you're right. They do kind of have a Sanji swirl to them. That's interesting. That's something to explore. Avik said, Luffy turned the ground into rubber and deflected Boroblast. Or am I reading too much into it? No, I mean, that was kind of my interpretation. And we talked about that being a possibility, that he would... So, you know, Luffy likes to emulate people that he's seen, right? And now this is kind of an explanation for how he's able to do that as effectively as he is, because he can look at something and his imagination, it's only limited by his imagination, right? So when he's emulating Bellamy and you know, Genzo and all these, you know, characters or whatever, now we're going to see him emulate Katakuri. We're going to see him emulate Mr. 3. You know, he created a candle wall. I said that was definitely going to be something that he did, and he did. He created a rubber wall. Or it could be that he is, you know, he's not limited by his imagination to the point where he's so strong that he just lifted the wall up and deflected it somehow. But even then, I think that Kaido's blast, I think there has to be something with his power happening to the floor as well. Because if it was just the floor, I feel like his blast would go through it. You know? It would just burn the wood to ash. So it has to be something that Luffy's doing, yeah. Something good to get through. Edwin Rodriguez, Jinbei has a sun on his chest and Law a smile. Do you think Oda had this plan since the Summer War arc? I believe Oda had this plan since the very beginning. To a certain extent, yeah. I believe he had a plan. Nick can't snipe. I meant that I would have cared for it if she slayed him or even beaten him up and spared him, because the dialogue was great, but maybe the payoff wasn't for me. I'm still mind blown by Gear 5th. Look, it works for me because, look, yes, would I have, like, sat here and went, oh, yeah, Tyrannosaurus, you're right, I gotta take... Our boy is back. I'm not going to throw this out. I'm going to save it because we might need it for Zoro. I wanted Hiyori to, you know, to get her hands dirty, but at the same time, you know, there's elements of purity and things like that. And it was an unrealistic goal to expect Oda to really go that route. But the fact that she was there to witness it is poetic still. So I'm with it. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, remember 5 months. Kaido and Luffy about to be like Tom and Jerry. Gum Diesel. So how does Shanks play into all of this? Did he know? I mean, very possible. It's very possible. I think so. I mean, my own headcanon would be that, yeah, Shanks knew. And that, you know, there may have been an element to it that, like, we have to protect the Goma Goma no Mi, you know? So, let's see. King J said, if this god ability is only limited by the user's imagination, what if Luffy being a childish user being the reason for reality bending into goofy Looney Tunes cartoons? Well, that's what I was basically getting at when I was like, is Luffy, like, doing this? Like, is this actually, like, not just Oda embellishing it, but he's actually making this happen. He's turning this into, you know, Roger Rabbit and Looney Tunes when he's attacking Kaido, so that there is the bending of rubber, bending of realities kind of thing. I could see Oda going that route, you know, because it's not only limited to Luffy's imagination. It's limited to Oda's imagination. And we're talking about a man that has been imagining all of this for 25 years. So we're all right. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on here. Let's see. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Another one.
All right. Let's catch up here.
Savage.
Check the color spread for 1028. Yeah. Scott Tres, thanks for rejoining. Appreciate it. Christian Barraza said the Gear 5 Luffy manhandling Kaido, paralleling Nightmare Luffy manhandling Oars back in Thriller Bark in a more lighthearted fashion is amazing. Yeah, and I that, you know, another W for me, I guess, because I was saying that, you know, what we're going to get is a Nightmare Luffy beatdown. So, and that's what's happened here. That's what's happened here. There's a lot of Thriller Bark symbolism in Wano. I keep trying to tell people. G33 man, crazy how the world government were sweating over Kaido and Big Mom's alliance and now are focus on killing Luffy. Shows how much of a threat Luffy is. Yeah. Yeah. Someone ends up with Orochi and Kanjuro's devil fruits. Yeah, I want Usopp to get Kanjuro's fruit. I don't know about Orochi's, though. That's interesting. Jalen Hertz, do you think Luffy and Chopper are more connected because they are both human users? I mean, there's definitely a conversation to be had between the two of them after this. Waylon Hastings said, this is where Blackbeard's Devil Fruit cancellation will be crucial if Luffy can bend reality at his whim. Yeah, it'll also be where Luffy creating things that are tangible that will be unaffected by his powers is crucial as well. Because if he's able to produce rubber and then, like, create weapons for himself, or, you know, like, harden his fists and things with hard rubber, you know, then that's something that I think Blackbeard wouldn't be able to cancel. So, that, you know, there's a possibility there as well. Gios Studio said, I just realized the whole rubber nature of the fruit fits so well with the Toon Force aspect of his abilities. Rubber hose animation. Yeah, there's a lot to be said. There's a lot to be said. We got a deep dive here, guys. We got a deep dive. Shout out to KProN, said, being rubber was a huge misdirection by Oda from the start. Powers now explained. He really doesn't need to be rubber. He's the embodiment of freedom. Stretching his limbs because they are liberated. Could have worked. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's a lot of very deep analysis that we can get into here. I'm still holding out for some Lunarian DNA. Let's see. So I know I've definitely missed a couple of, you know, or more than a couple of super chats while going through everything. But I'm gonna pull them all up and try and get through them. You know, I will read all of them before the stream is over. Don't worry. Emil Diaz, how do you think the Zoans will affect him? That's interesting. Yeah, you know, I just realized that this means that he just awakened a Zoan fruit. I mean, I think that this is the fruit's will coming through. Could Joy Boy have not been human, like Chopper? Could he have been an animal that ate a human fruit similar to Chopper, and that it's his will that is now in the fruit? Huh. Chris Ichiban said, you missed my other super chat. Like I said, guys, I'm going to read all of them. I'm going to pull them up. They disappear for me, but I'll get them in the YouTube thing there. Very motivated. What do we think the Gorosei's next step will be once they're notified of what just happened? Surely a buster call on a floating island won't cut it. I mean, a buster call on Wano, maybe. I mean, I don't know if that's out of the realm. So, like, they're going to want to eliminate this as fast and as quickly as possible, and I think that Luffy will defeat Kaido, like I've always said, but I still think somebody else is going to come in last minute, and it's going to be devastating. JD Turkleton, How big of a drawback are you expecting from Luffy going Gear 5th? Whole day without hockey or something less severe? I mean, maybe there is no drawback. Maybe that's the benefit. But I mean, there really should be a drawback. I'm hoping that it's more so like the mink medicine and that Luffy really is still very hurt, and that once he's done with this, he's going to revert back to being like out of commission for a very long time. So there could still be that Cavendish Hakuba sense in a way. You know, that it is sort of a full sort of transformation in that. So that Luffy's body is still, you know, hurt, but when the, you know, the Joy Boy version of him, you know, takes over, it's still Luffy in control, but it's kind of separate. You know, maybe that's... we're getting really heady here. Ramona Vila, big W's for Randy. Luffy did the candle wall, and also Giant Luffy grabbed Kaido like a worm. Also, Luffy got Sanji's eyebrows. Lunarian, question mark? I'm hoping. You know, you gotta explain the fire. Gabe C said, Oda used the theme of identity throughout this arc with so many characters, only to have it used most powerfully with Luffy at the end. Goto. There we go, bringing back my favorite theme of the arc, identity. Yes. Diz of the Ghosts. So does a chap like this make Wano top 5? This is one of the top 5 probably like moments or just like hypeness from a chapter and everything. Like this is a moment to remember, like within the community for sure. Neil Diaz, maybe Joy Boy was a Sea King. It connects to Poseidon. That's interesting. Waylon Hastings, could the Zoan will be instinctual desire, like we see with Predator Zoans, like Lucci, becoming more aggressive? Potentially. I think anything's on the table. I mean, that's... we're seeing Luffy act more aggressive, but he's also, you know, passive and having fun and happy. So it's very interesting and weird and different. K-Pro N, thank you, said tinfoil. All right, well, if this is tinfoil, then let's go full tinfoil here. Original user is from the Red Line. Marco said people used to call them gods. They could live anywhere. It's possible that Joy Boy spent so much time awakened on the Red Line that he basically created the Lunarians. Very tinfoil. I doubt he was able to create a race, but creating the Red Line, I think, is more like creating something physical. Makes more sense to me. Harshin, member for 9 months, insane chapter, and we eating good. We eating real good, eating so well. Blazing Blue, Luffy's heartbeat is the drums of liberation, and Luffy mentioned himself, his heartbeat sounds funny. Might tie into the drawbacks of using Gear 5th. Okay, yeah. Gia Studio, maybe thematically the darkness fruit contrasts the sun god fruit as a moon, a new moon. Yeah. Yeah. This darkness fruit, and then we have the sun god, so that we have this very obvious parallel against the two. God. Oda. He thinks he's slick, and he is. Oh, man. Let's see. We still have 1,700 people in here. It's unreal. Ellie Baber said, this chapter recontextualizes Luffy versus Enel for me. It was a fight between a human who thought he was a god. A god who thought he was a human. Look at that. Everything goes back to Skypiea. Skypiea irrelevant. Sco Tree said, I wonder if the world government intentionally didn't go all out on Luffy. If they killed him, they'd lose track of the fruit again. At least they knew where it was. Well, I think that, getting the fruit is part of the, the whole thing here. So it's like they wanted to kill him and then get it. Harshin, appreciate the super chat there. K Pro N said, I meant living near his awakened form liberated them permanently to an extent. Ah, okay. I got you, K Pro. Yeah. Well, I could see him like spreading that joy and making them feel liberated, but I think that that's sort of where the combativeness of the world government is going to come into play, because here is Joy Boy, his goal is to free the slaves, and I think that the apology and everything was that he wasn't able to, and that the world government somehow became too powerful, and he ended up, obviously he lost to them, right? Because Fishman Island ended up in a bubble down below. The Minks were, subjugated to, just riding on Zunisha for 800 years. So now is the time for the return of Joy Boy, and for all of these pieces to come together to finally dismantle the world government and their, hateful ways. Let's see. Ricky Stevens said, I'm with you. Hiyori part was awesome. 4% squad. Wave Chappelle, love that name. Monkey See, Monkey Do. This phrase will define Luffy's skills in Gear 5th. I mean, he's been Monkey See, Monkey Do since the beginning of the series, So the whole whatever you can do, I can do better of the Katakuri fight is now going to come back, and we're going to see him pull a bunch of tricks from that fight. Dawn Knight 1993. If you keep telling a lion he is a dog all his life, he's going to grow up believing he's a dog. Luffy's OP now that his mind has been awakened. Yeah. Gear 33 man, do you think Luffy being a god contradicts the D's being the natural enemy of the gods? What are your thoughts? I mean, that's an interesting interesting question. Well, it still depends, right? Depends on if there's a tie between the Celestial Dragons and Joy Boy. So, and that's just something that we're going to have to wait and see. M. Mugi, what if Joy Boy was an actual god who ate the human fruit? Also, Luffy's eyebrows look like his devil fruit, or they look like Sanji's swirl. So, I mean, there's something to this eyebrow thing for sure. But also, the eyebrows also kind of look like a lot of deity eyebrows. They tend to swirl like that as well. So, Dio Joestar just subscribed. Jalen Hertz. Luffy's eyes are like Mihawk's, Zunisha's, Emu's. You think there's a connection with their eyes? Yeah, that's something that I wanted to bring up. And it's something that I've talked about before, too. Right? So, if the eyes are really like that, then it kind of implies that there is some sort of a curse or something going on, in my opinion. Because the person that you're also missing in that thing where it's, you're saying the eyes are like Mihawk, Emu, and Zunisha, the other person who has eyes like that is Cavendish when he switches into Hakuba. So that's sort of a thing that could tie into this. It could be when there's multiple souls, multiple wills going on, something like that. I still think there's something to that.
Savage.
Shout out to that guy, though. Hype chapter, some food for thought. Blackbeard knows more about devil fruits than most. Did he know the truth of the Gomu Gomu when he ordered Burgess to take it? So many scenes to look back on. Maybe. it depends on how much about like rocks he knew and different things like that. If he knows the journey of the Gomu Gomu no Mi, he's one of the most informed people in the series. But I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't actually know that information, and that was one of the best kept secrets of the world government. And that, you know, in the Devil Fruit Encyclopedia, it just says the Gomu Gomu no Mi, right? But if you're initiated, then you might know the truth, right? There may have been something about it at Laugh Tale, which caused Shanks to seek the fruit out when it was finally captured by the world government. You know, which implies like... Man. You know, there's a lot to sort of speculate about Shanks, you know, with all of this as well. You know, him showing up to the Gorosei, him stopping the war. You know, I wonder if there's some sort of mutual understanding or some sort of agreement that the world government got into after Shanks fed the fruit to Luffy. You know, like they know that he has the fruit. And they just sort of like maybe that's why they stopped the war. Like they didn't realize that Luffy's fruit was was that fruit entirely. They just thought that Shanks was like holding on to it, and it's like, well, we'll stop the war because he still has that fruit, and he may like, you know, eat it or give it to somebody, and we don't want that, right? Maybe. I don't know. Shout out to that guy, though. Oh, wait. Yep, that's the one I just read. Sanj Saab said, "Hey, Randy, not much to say, just bathing in joy right now, but I will point what many other readers have. Read the SBS question in SBS 20, or the Hito Hito no Mi. Yeah, I would love to see whatever he said about that. But also remember that he was asked what type of rubber is Luffy, to which he responded, natural rubber. So, you know, there's definitely something to that as well. Let's see. Catching up. Yes, we still have Vegapunk to go, Dizza. Definitely do. Evo said, remember in Punk Hazard when Momo asked Luffy how he could turn back into a human? And Luffy said, I don't know, I'm not a Zoid. Oh, that's a great callback. Yeah, I do remember that, when they were in the trash compactor. Hey. Jin with the resubscribe. Appreciate you, man. Let's see. Oh, Morge is in the chat? Morge was in the chat. Okay. Missed that. I guess Morge asked if I think this is the best chapter ever. I don't know if I'd go there. But it's certainly one of the, it's certainly like, someone could say that it's the most important chapter ever. Yeah. Chen said, Randy, I miss your reactions. Daylight savings suck. Yeah, I realize that technically for some of you, the time, for me, the time is the same because we have daylight savings in the United States. But yeah. Austin Singer, I can't wait to see the rest of the crew's reaction to Luffy's new power. Yeah. I'm excited for that. I'm definitely excited for that. Ryan Hollins, Shanks was going to feed the Gomu Gomu no Mi to Roger's son. So he was asked to find the fruit by Roger. We found to be on the island. Luffy was mistaken as ace. It's not that Luffy was mistaken as ace. It's more so that Luffy ate the fruit. They got the fruit. They went to Makino's bar. I do believe that Shanks was going to give it to Ace, but Luffy ate it. But then Luffy started saying the things that Roger had said. And then I think it's more so that Luffy was drawn to it, or the fruit was drawn to Luffy. You know, is it his destiny? Is it his fate, to quote Whoopsap? You know, there's so many elements to all of it. So many elements to all of it. John Ross said, meta, Joy Boy is making all of us readers laugh. Yep. Shad Fincher, Blackbeard Def has a Zoan fruit from Zebek. Probably. You know, it's going to be the whole,
Another one.
It's going to be the whole thing with, you know, I would love it if the darkness was the ink of the Kraken fruit. So.
Savage.
Shout out to Shooter Ali. Thanks for joining. Shalizi17 said, God tier chapter. Just realized Oda teased Gear 5th before. Remember when he drew Luffy as a Street Fighter Ken with his hair on fire? I sure do. Mind blown. Huge fan, Randy. Keep doing your thing. Savage. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Savage.
Yeah, a lot of people have been calling back to that, the image of him as Ken. Oda thinks he's slick, man, but I mean, that's him a lot of times, like, he's testing things out. He's testing the waters out. K-Pro N, thank you again, said, perhaps Shanks threatened the Gorosei. No dirty tricks till Luffy's ready or I attack. That's why they were trying to hide their involvement in killing a wanted man. So they said, red hair doesn't act unless agitated. I think that there's a lot more to this than you know, we've been getting, and we're going to get it eventually. Oh, we got Ragnar in here. Vinland D, my boy. What's up, man? Justin SSI said, Nika could be Akin, Mayan god of the sun, named backwards. Ooh, Nika. Shandora tried sacrificing a woman to the Kukulkan, winged serpent, to bring back Joy Boy Nika. Oh, ah. Well, I mean, they were sacrificing to the sun god, weren't they? That was like the whole thing. They were worshiping the sun god. So, man, I gotta go back to Skypiea. Maxo said, congrats on your 2,000 people audience today. Well deserved. Thank you, Maxo. Yeah, it was crazy. Truly haven't stopped smiling since I read this last night. Unreal chapter. Yeah, Chrissy read it and like came in and was like, you're gonna have fun tomorrow. Yeah, we had 2K in here.
Savage.
Oh, Ragnar's leaving. Let me see. He yelled savage. Let's see. Did he say anything else before? I gotta find what it is. Let's see. Appreciate you dropping by, brother. Let's see. Makeshift said, tinfoil time. Every fruit is his own fruit, representing some god in the world. Government is hiding it from everyone. I'm smoking that Kurazumi pack big time. Let's see those Zoro-packs in the chat. That's interesting, but I don't know. Enigma Sword said, we were having a blast in the scan channel in Discord. So many memes. I'll at you in one I made that could be fun for the intro or the analysis vid. All right, appreciate you, Enigma. Matthew, thanks for the subscribe. Let's see. Yeah. King of Lightning's going to be pissed? Why? get into these earlier super chats that I missed. Apologies to anybody that, you know, has already left and you know, I read their super chat, you know, but please listen to the new anime OSTs. Yeah, you know, I'll get to it. I mean, I'd almost prefer to see them when they happen, too. You know, I mean, there's that as well. Let's see. All right. It Unidentified super chatted earlier and said, Oda playing the long game was worth it. Yep. Martin, thanks. Toy Man, more like Toy Boy. Oh yeah, I totally expect us to get Toy Boy. Lucy B said, check out the official OST of Luffy Awakening and Awaken Luffy's performance. The drums of liberation go hard in this one. Wow. My guy Vernon Co. said, gotta step down from my Yonko status for a while as I'm buying a house. Amen. Congratulations.
7.
That's awesome. That's awesome. How do you feel about Orochi's end? Poetic that he is ended by his own hate. Well, he's ended by what he created. He created Kanjuro, right? So it is poetic. He sent Kanjuro to destroy everything. What I love most about it is that it gives purpose to Kazenbo, which was the thing that I was, like, drawn about. I was just like, why? Why is it necessary to bring Kanjuro back to do all of this? Because Kanjuro takes out Orochi. Boom. Poetry. Oda, you've done it. You've done it. You made it work. Kazenbo would have been pointless without this chapter. So Oda tied that up perfectly. Hopefully Orochi's actually, you know, done. So, I'm with you right there on the poetry, man. I'm with you right there. K-Pro-N said, all we need is a line where the Gorosei say, the fruit is so powerful, we labeled it an ancient weapon. The 3 ancient weapons would then cover people, things, and a fruit. I still think that all of the ancient weapons are going to be person plus thing.
7.
Yeah, everybody, W's in the chat for Vern getting his house. W's in the chat for Vern. That's big moves there, man. That's big moves. Love to see it.
Another one.
Yeah. I still think that it's person plus thing. So it's Shirahoshi plus the Sea Kings. Momonosuke plus Zunisha.
Another one.
And then Vivi plus Pluton. Or Luffy plus something, it's possible. Possible. Lone Shadow 144, member for 10 months. I'm loving Luffy's new abilities. Oda's a madman. I need Chopper to give Luffy a rumple ball. Yes. Easy 10 out of 10 chapter. Vern gonna drop the Addy in Discord. Oh man. Housewarming in PA. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Mr. Hyena said Popeye is the freest man on the sea. And then Mr. Hyena said, when did you learn to speak and write Japanese? Well, I mean, I don't write Japanese. I'm not... But I've been sort of independently teaching myself now and again over the past 20 years. You know, and I learned a lot working for Kaizoku fan subs because I was like really dialed in and I had to watch each episode of One Piece over and over again and like slowly like was learning lines and different things like because I'm putting the subtitles on it, you know, based on the script and everything, and I'm hearing what's being said, so I was like becoming conversational in that respect. I went to Japan in 2016 and I was able to get by, which was, you know, a lot of fun because I had never actually used it in my life other than just being there. And while I was like talking with people, it was like, you know, just sort of like the words would come out and then they would respond and I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, all right, great. So Maxo super chatted during the reaction and said, Chrissy this week, Nani mo nakatta. Yeah. John Ross said, Frankie docking will be the final ancient weapon. Well, I'm waiting for Luffy to produce rubber, right, and then turn himself into Tactics 15. Nerd King 101, as someone who's been reading for so long, how does it feel to have the fruit change? It's wild. It's wild. Changes everything. I don't know if you were here after the reaction, but I said, like, to all of the YouTubers that, you know, every chapter, this changes everything. Now, you know, they've been crying wolf this whole time because this actually changes everything. But the other thing too is that I've been sort of preparing myself for this since 1037 because I'm one of the only people in the community. You know, there's a couple of us, but I was one of the only people that was like adamant that it's like the Gorosei are talking about Luffy's fruit. Everyone's like, no, that turns this into a Chosen One story. They're not talking about Luffy's fruit. They're talking about Zunisha. They're talking about Kaido's fruit. They're talking about Momonosuke. They're talking about this. I'm like, they're talking about Luffy. Look at the context clues. Like, even when we did the mini reverie, a couple of people were combating it, and I had to explain, that it's like, look at what they're talking about. They're talking about Robin, and then they transition into a conversation about the fruit, right? So the connection there is they're already talking about the Straw Hats, so they're talking about Luffy. Context clues. So this is just the reveal of what the fruit was, what its name actually was. But we were told that Luffy's fruit was different like 2-3 months ago. So. Adrian Cesarini said, Wano, Luffy punches the light back into Kaido with literal sun powers. I like that. Bringing the dawn that this time everyone longs for. Like Roger, our boy is turning the world upside down. Also, Hiyori rocked. Hiyori did rock. Put some respect on my girl. Amrit Singh, Japanese text and chapter, ridiculous as goofy. I mean, it was definitely goofy. It definitely was ridiculous. Jay Armstrong, Luffy plus Pluton, the Sunny or Frankie himself. I mean, Frankie had, if the Pluton is actually a ship, right? Then the Sunny is implemented with whatever was on those blueprints. One of the longest running theories. Chin said Memorio for the resin theory. Not necessarily, because the resin, the fact that the resin, it's not the Jushi no Mi, sure, right? But resin is still a part of rubber. So if Luffy's imagination can go back to Sabaody, he can still create bubbles, he could still coat the ship, he could still do a lot of the stuff that was talked about. Honestly, the fruit having this amorphous ability to almost be anything now makes it even more likely than it ever was. So it's not the resin fruit, but the resin capabilities are still possible. There's still the possibility for epoxy like glue for him to shoot sticky things. I said that he would create a candle wall like Mr. 3, and he did that. So there's a lot of possibilities that are still going to go. The Last Orphan. Some see a plot hole with Gorosei not going after Luffy. The world government expected their systems to do their job. 800 years of precedent made them complacent. That, and there was a possibility that they didn't connect everything until Shanks approached them, right? I mean, he was at Marineford, and he was a threat or whatever, but it's possible that they thought it was a different fruit until Shanks showed up and said, oh yeah, you know that fruit that I've been holding over your heads for a bunch of years, right? That has given me the freedom to do all of these things because I've been, touting that I have the Hito Hito no Mi Model Nika and I'm going to do something with it. Well, I already did something with it, years ago. I fed it to Monkey D. Luffy. So then that switches their whole mindset, and it's like, oh wait, we didn't even put it together. Yeah, he stretches, he has rubber. Oh, he has to have that fruit. Okay, Dripper, go and kill him. Not realizing that that was going to bring him back. Bring Joy Boy. Justin SSI said, more on the Mayan mythology. Akin Nika is feared as the bringer of droughts, but protects mankind from the evil powers associated with darkness. There's so much. So much. I'm totally going to do a deep dive on this Akin from Mayan mythology. I gotta save that. K-Pro N. The Gorosei always went after Luffy, but he won in Eni's lobby. Kuma was a double agent. Yeah, exactly. I talked about this as well. Rayleigh and Kuma help in Sabaody, and Shanks saved in Marineford. Dressrosa, their hands were tied. Yeah, it's not like they haven't been going after Luffy. That's a whole other thing, it's just things have interfered over the years. And they didn't know where he was for 2 years either. And the second they found out that he was back, they were, all hands on deck trying to get after him, but he went to Fishman Island. Then he shows up at Punk Hazard. They don't know that he's there. Then by the time they know that he's at Dressrosa, he's already leaving. Then he's on Zoe. They don't know where Zoe is, right? Then he's at Whole Cake Island. They don't know that he's at Whole Cake Island. Then he's at Wano. Now they know where he is, so they're trying to get rid of him. K-Pro N said, how you feel about the rest of the fights being freedom versus conqueror? Darkness, power, justice, and control. Well, I mean, One Piece at its heart is a story about freedom versus, oppression. It's always been that, even from, as early as, the first volume, right? You go back to Shell's town. You have a town that's oppressed by Captain Morgan, right? Luffy comes in, and he frees that town, and he allows the the good Marines to take over that. Drops Kobe off. He goes to Orange Town. Buggy has taken over this town. It's freedom versus oppressor. This is the model for every single arc. Luffy comes in, he gets rid of Buggy, Boodle can get his town back, right? Goes to Seer Village. And let's see. Well, then it's actually Gaimon, right? So he goes to Gaimon, and Luffy liberates Gaimon from the ability, from this idea that he has about the treasure up top. So he's able to be free and just live with his animals inside of his box. Go to Seer Village. He liberates Kaya from this awful butler with no ambition other than to just sit and relax, right? Which is complete antithesis to his own ideals of, becoming a great pirate. We go to Baratier. Don Krieg is trying to, you know, take over the Baratier. Luffy stops that. We go to Arlong Park. Arlong is literally subjugating an entire island. Luffy comes in and liberates them. Like, this is the model. This is the model for just about every arc, and I've been talking about this. So I'm not really surprised by a lot of this stuff. It's great. Gio said, Randy, you mean so Shushu can get his town back? True that. True that. Word to Big Shu. Shout out to the boy Shu. I have a Shushu figure. I was going to pull it out, but I don't know where it went. Maxo said, this chapter also gives more context to the world government thinking who's who had outdated info, then pivoting into assassinating him after getting more info. Yeah. Well, the other idea, too, is, like, him learning about Sun God Nika. Like, they don't even want that name to be in the ether, right? So that's another reason why they wanted to get rid of who's who. They were more upset about that than anything else, I think. Shout out to Trey Bird, member for 6 months, said, I've always wanted a Looney fruit, and now we have Nika. He's like a Super Saiyan in the Looney Tunes world. The Mask D. Luffy. Oh, totally The Mask. Yeah. I just rewatched The Mask recently, too. Let's see. Wait a second. Assassin's Creed said, now the carving on the sacrificial pillar exactly matches the Gear 5th Luffy. Skypiea arc, chapter 287. Okay. I want to see that. We're going to 287, boys and girls. It was like one of my top priorities was to reread the Nolan flashback after this anyway. Wheezy Bird said Monday is the Nintendo Direct of One Piece coming. Yeah, I think it's going to be like probably a first look at Film Red. That's what I'm thinking. If we get more than that, awesome. Let's see.
Another one.
Yamil said, who's who is going to go crazy if he sees Luffy now? Yeah, he's gonna be like, Jinbei, I'm sorry for all of those things that I said. Is there anything that I can do to make this up to you? Chrissy said that her favorite part was Kaido saying, hey bro, sorry for Dripper, and Luffy just being like, it's all good, man. Alright, I'm looking at the sacrificial altar now. And not necessarily seeing the Luffy-isms here. I mean, we have a palm that kind of looks like what Luffy does when he's using Gear 2nd. We've got, like, the eyebrows. But this face looks more like Jinbei's face than anything. Yeah, I wouldn't say it looks exactly like him. Unless, but I mean, there's other hieroglyphics that I'm sure we could find that'll have something. Let's see. Let's see. We get some other super chats. Dred Scott super chatted way earlier. Said it went from rubber to rubber hose animation. KJ Dryer just did a super chat, no message. Darren the Great said the OST warned you it's Luffy's demon time. Let's see. Gary Bloodworth, Luffy's eyes and eyebrows are the devil fruit. Hype. Enigma Sword, Luffy, get over here. Gavin Vales, so if Luffy is an original devil fruit, you think all the original devil fruits are human model god? That's an interesting take. Like these are some of the first devil fruits, and that all the other ones come from these, something like that, maybe. King J, Randy Troy. Nightmare Luffy was a swordsman. Wano started with Luffy using a sword. His hands are now big enough to grab dragon form Kaido. We have a huge sword outside Onigashima entrance. I actually talked about that. I said if we get giant Luffy, I want to see him grab the sword. Everybody wanted Kid to pick it up and all this other stuff, but if Luffy's able to, he's only limited by his imagination. If he can grow, he could grab that sword, yes. But I'm fine with the beatdown that we got, which is essentially what I said, based on context, would probably happen. We would get that Nightmare Luffy parallel. I was talking about Nightmare Luffy for a while in the 1043 review and during the stream too. Let's see. T-Bomber74, Super Chat earlier said, Luffy totally made the ground rubber and reflected the blast. So epic. Also, his eyebrows are curly. Yep. Scotrice said, we were introduced to Nightmare Luffy in chapter 479 titled Warrior of Hope. From Nightmare to Sun God, Warrior of Hope to Warrior of Liberation. Yeah. The parallels to Nightmare Luffy are so obvious. They're so obvious. Nature Boy says, look at chapter 50, page 8. Look what Usopp says to Chopper. Chopper wasn't even around in chapter 50. I think you got your chapter wrong. Chapter 50 is the Mihawk versus Zoro chapter. Isopod said, anytime we visit the Mary Joyce Hall of Exposition is an automatic 10 out of 10 chapter. That's facts. That's facts. But Luffy having the mask no Mi is on another level. Yeah.
Savage.
The Jim Carrey no Mi. Alvin Hilario said, thoughts on Rox being the last Nika fruit user? Similar smile and hair in the silhouette. Maybe he was a liberation warrior at God Valley. And there'll be a flashback with Kaido about Nika and Rox. No, I don't think that he had the Goma Goma no Mi. But I think that he knew about it. He was probably on the hunt for it or something. I still think that he knew the true history. And that he was trying to figure out how to, bring Joy Boy back or, something along those lines. Could he have had the fruit? I mean, I guess anything is possible, but I don't know about that one. I don't know about that. I think it's better if he, inspired Kaido to think that he could be Joy Boy, and it's I guess you couldn't be Joy Boy either. But then, I mean, to add to that, to actually, so let's say Rox did have the Hito model Nika, right? But Rox was unable to awaken it, right? Or that he thought that his death or something might have brought upon Joy Boy, right? But Joy Boy didn't deem him worthy, and also he was too early. Then that gives a reason for Kaido to say, so I guess you couldn't be Joy Boy either, because he would recognize the fruit, right? But then, at the same time, it's sort of weird, right? Because then you would expect Big Mom to have some sort of recognition of, like, you know, the abilities, but at the same time, if it's limited to the user's imagination, then you would have to have Rocks doing a completely different move set that didn't involve stretching or things like that, because suddenly I would need a panel with Big Mom saying, wait, that fruit, ... you know? And having that recognition. Like, it's the same thinking of why all of the early theories that Roger had the Gomu Gomu no Mi, right? All of that was thrown out of the window when nobody looked at Luffy's fruit and said, that fruit, ... when they would have known Roger and had, like, battles with him and things like that. 650, not 50. Okay. Um... 650. Oh, this is the lore dump at the end of Fishman Island chapter. Checking it out. Did they say what page?
I'm your water boy. Here you go. I'm
Oh.
gonna say Randy needs a water.
Okay.
You're welcome. Do you want some tea? You're good? Okay.
Yeah. Do we know what page? I mean, I have the chapter up, but it was like something that Usopp said to Chopper, or Chopper said to Usopp. Let's see. John Ross super chatted earlier and said, if I remember correctly, I think the Gorosei mentioned an Akuma fruit. Well, so that must have been a different translation that you were reading, because all fruits are Akuma fruits, right? They're the, like, Akuma no Mi. That's devil fruit. So, like, the Akuma no Mi or something, like, I don't see that happening. Just checking out on some of the earlier super chats, seeing if there's anything I missed. Chris Ichiban said, Blackbeard told Ace his devil fruit chose him. That could be a hint on how Blackbeard also ends up being his own, because his darkness canceling devil fruit comes out of nowhere. I mean, there's a lot of credence to the Blackbeard theories for sure.
Savage.
Shout out to Sanj Saab. How does Eam fit into all of this, and how much do they know? They know everything. What are your thoughts, Randy? It's also possible Eam just revealed that Luffy has the Nika fruit. I think that Eam is someone that has lived through since the Void history and has been using slaves and probably the Opi Opi no Mi to continuously gain lifespan, and I mean, that's my headcanon. But in the Void history, it could have been someone that was very close to Joy Boy, maybe a brother, maybe a sister, Cain and Abel type stuff, and just went about things in a completely different way. K Pro N. Shanks said you have changed history for better or worse, not knowing if Luffy's spirit would be crushed or still have will to live and be free. Then 800 years of waiting, Roger's final order was to guide who used the same words as me. Virgo, what's up, man? Shanks knows things. He knows, like, if Rayleigh knows the true history, then Shanks knows it as well. Rayleigh said, chapter 507, 508, 509, somewhere around there, he's like, you know, he gets asked directly, do you know the history? And he said, I know all of it. So, I'm sure he told Shanks. So, and I still think that there's something to the effect of why Rayleigh was waiting at Sabaody. Why he chose Sabaody. Why he is using resin to coat ships. Because he's trying to usher in the new Joy Boy. To get them to Fishman Island. To get them to the new world. To do all of this. Waiting for Luffy. So, you know, Shanks showing up to Rayleigh in that flashback in Sabaody is more like, I think I found him, you know? I found him. He'll be here in a couple of years, I'm sure of it. You know? And Rayleigh saying after the time skip, like, I'm gonna stay alive a little longer. I'm gonna see this through. Like, he wants to see the world turn into what him and, you know, what he and Roger envisioned, what they were trying to do. Everybody's saying R.I.P. Resin Theory. It's not deconfirmed. It's not deconfirmed. It's not. It's deconfirmed in name, but resin is still a property of rubber. So that's the whole thing. Everybody was like, there's a lot of people out there that are saying, oh, well, if it's resin, then it's not rubber. No, if it's resin, it is rubber. It's a different part of rubber. It's rubber, like, it's the natural form of rubber manipulated in a different way. So we could still see Luffy coat the ship, coat himself, go underwater, like, do a whole bunch of, like, really crazy stuff. Thoughts on Emu having mind control Conqueror's Hockey? Could be a way of testing Luffy and his friends' allies' loyalty. Interesting. Interesting. I mean, we've never seen that, but yeah. Cone Killer Confusor said, an hour behind. I was hoping Hiyori would finish off that snake, but her coldly watching as he just burns is chilling. Oh, I loved it. I loved it. And my favorite part about it is that it gave purpose to Kazembo. Because otherwise Kazembo was just, like, pointless. But now Kazembo is not pointless. All right, page 8 on 650. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's see. I'm just reading this page out, guys. Give me a second.
Savage.
All right. The Blackbeard Pirates' primary aim is to acquire the most powerful devil fruit abilities they can obtain, so be careful, all of you. They might come after me. Why would they care about the Hito no Mi? There you have it. Blackbeard is going to be tied to this in a very strong way. Prototype Virgo said, how are you not at 100K yet? I mean, thank you, brother. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. You know? We still have 1,325 people in the chat. If you're not subbed, sub! That's sub! Yeah, so Blackbeard is definitely going to be tied to this in a strong way. It's very possible that he has his own as well. You know, which is another thing that I've been saying for years. Just not specifically, you know, which zone it was. I do love the idea of it being an octopus, though. Kiosk Studio with Gear 4th using Armament Hockey. Gear 5th uses Conquerors. Potentially. I mean, Luffy shooting Conquerors Hockey from the roof and knocking people out, that was cold. I like that. I like that a lot. Barry said, I have 30 minutes until lunch. I'm falling asleep at work. Send help. Genki, do we still have the Genki Tama emoji? Or do I only have that on Twitch now? But sending energy to Barry. Oh, man. Evil's octopus theory looking so much better now. It was always looking good. Correlation between Blackbeard and Luffy is beautiful, said Prototype Virgo. Sun versus the darkness, kind of like the statement Blackbeard made against Ace. Yeah. Yeah. Boom. Shout out to all the people in here. Shout out to the people. Shout out to the people that, you know, said if you're not sub, and then they subbed. Thank you. Thank you. K-Pro said Randy on the copium, where Chrissy with that tea. Davon, aka Schoolboy Beat, said Luffy inherited the embodiment of free will. Yeah. Luffy has been the embodiment of freedom the whole story. And I've literally said that before in other reviews and different things like that. And now he literally is the embodiment of free will. Let's see. Prototype Virgo said maybe time for the Avengers to assemble soon once more. Let's see. Sophoma said, have you checked out TOS yet before he hits 30K, please? I watched that video you sent me. Tama emoji replaced by the dripper emoji. Yep. We're pretty close to another emoji, though. We are. Because we've been getting a lot of members lately. So we're pretty close to a new emoji. Let's see. Trippy Josh said, I still hope Tama's a Korazumi. I still hope so, too. And the you know, the reason for that is still to sort of bring some sort of redemption to the Korazumi clan, you know, and like Sins of the Father is a big element in One Piece, and you know, Hiyori would have this person that, you know, nature versus nurture, was not raised by Orochi, so it has nothing to do with that. So, I mean, there's also the possibility that Otoko could be the, you know, the daughter of Orochi as well. You know, that would still, that would work. I don't like it as much. I think if Toko was the daughter of Orochi, I would want Hiyori to be the mother, but that's like weird. But I mean, like, it would gel and it would vibe. Shout out to Mark Oderso for joining the channel, trying to help us get those emojis. Thank you. see if there's any other super chats I missed. Just checking things out. I think I hit everything. Jonathan RK, the irony in Enel versus Luffy after this revelation. Yeah. Ugh. God, Usopp, all of that foreshadowing with chopper panels after Luffy gets knocked down. The first Hito Hito fruit we saw in the series. Oda's too nice. All right. I think I read everybody's super chat now. I think I'm all caught up. If I missed anything, then you gotta let me know.
Another one.
Shout out to Sanj. Member for 5 months. Predictions for the next chapter. This is historic, man. Yeah, we haven't done 1045 talk yet. We haven't done that yet. Because I was like literally just trying to catch up to the chat. Barry said 1045 spoilers, please. Lucy said Germa 66 being experimented on. Do they deserve it? Yeah. Enter a name said missed my super chats, right? Enter a name. Was it one of the member chats, or was it an actual super chat? Because I try to keep up with the member super chats, but when they disappear, and I cannot find them again. That's the problem with the member super chats. If I can't I try to get to them when I see them because I know they disappear. But if it's a regular super chat, I'll be able to find that in the studio. Let's see. Okay. Just checked. All right. We are 6 people away from a new emoji. That's where we are. We get a new emoji at 150 members, and we've got 144, which is insane. For those asking when the next emoji is. Let's see. Brandon King said, Randy Troy, the first human fruit was on drum. Technically, the first human fruit was chapter 1. Let's see. All right. Let's see. All right. Thank you for letting me know about the missed super chats, guys. Let's see. We're gonna find them here. Okay. Enter a name. Found it. Said the Gorosei were counting on Luffy to fall in Wano because there were 2 Yonko to go up against. When they failed, they got desperate with Dripper.
Another one.
I mean, I would probably be, betting on Kaido anyway, right? That's what we're told. Jay Armstrong, shout out. Thanks for joining the channel, man. They literally sacrificed Dripper too. Like, they knew, hey, you're gonna die, my man. But you're just a pawn. You're just a pawn, right? And that's why Dripper says to Drake, right? That, don't sleep on that moment where he says, like, I'm envious of your justice, your ability to choose, right? That's why I still feel like the CP0 members, and to a certain extent, like CP9 and all of that, like they were raised from birth to become what what they are, right? So it's almost a slavery in their own way. It's like you're indentured. You have no free will. Your will is our will. You just enact our justice for us. You are tools, vessels for us. So let's see. Amrit said, does this open the possibility of Blackbeard's power being mythical Zoan model Kraken with the Yummy Yummy Me being a cover with its black spray and suction? We talked about that a bit. Amrit also said, God Valley, the shrine of sun god Nika. Thought I was going to sneeze, but didn't. Ooh. Ramon Avila. I like this. Maybe the quote, the fruit has gotten away from us for 800 years is literal, and the fruit traveled with Toki.
Another one.
Shout out to Rosei 10.
Savage.
Thank you for joining the channel. I feel like I said your name wrong. I'm sorry. God Valley, the shrine of sun god Nika. Could be. Could be. Right? Especially if Luffy still ends up being able to create these bubbles and things that, and that there is a tie to this fruit to the archipelago. Then there's a tie to the bubbles of the archipelago and the bubbles that the celestial dragons wear, like I was talking about in my last video. Yeah. Man, we can go in so many places. Chin said the 800 years of travel for the Nika fruit theory is lit. Yeah, I like that. I like that one a lot. All right. Wolf Visuals said Luffy tells Momo and Punk Hazard, I'm not a Zoan. Yeah, I know. I remember that. Your average knock 'em up said, Randy, do you think the Nika fruit's too OP and Luffy jumped the shark, or is it about right? I don't think we jumped the shark. I think this is what Oda has been building up towards. I don't think that there's any way for Oda to jump the shark after 25 years. Jumping the shark, and this is, if people don't really know this reference, right? So jumping the shark is a phrase, that is pretty common now. And you use it for TV shows and movies or, a long-running series that sort of fall off, right? They have run out of ideas, almost, is what the thing is. But this goes back to an episode of Happy Days, okay? The Fonz, all of this stuff. And somewhere in the, I think it was the third season, maybe, or whatever. I could be wrong on what number season it is. But anyway, there is an episode where to enhance ratings, they bring the character of Chachi in, to sort of be the opposite to the Fonz, and to sort of cement his, his prowess. We have the Fonz literally do this competition where he's like skiing, water skiing, and jumps over a shark. And it's one of the most ridiculous things that you could possibly see in television. And that it was basically the downfall of Happy Days. And from that episode, that's what started the term jumping the shark. So to jump the shark means that you've basically done something too early. Okay? I don't think there's any way to do anything too early at this stage of the game. So no, I don't think that Oda's jumped the shark. I think that we're right on track. I think that it's earned. I think that it's deserved. I don't like the idea of calling it Gear 5th. I wanted to see more of the Awakening and then from the Awakening get Gear 5th. But I don't know. I mean, it's within Luffy's mind and all of that to call it Gear 5th, I guess, because it's something new to him. But he is still trying to figure out what his powers are. But I think that there is going to be some sort of muscle memory to the fruit and to the Awakening, where a lot of the stuff that he's doing now is, you know, sort of being told to him in a way. Evo said, Randy, hold up. Isn't Luffy's fruit now pretty much a combination of all the Straw Hat's fruits? It's a human fruit like Chopper. It's limited by imagination like Robin's. And activated after death like Brooks. I like that. That's a fun way to go about that. Yeah. I was going to question the Robin part, but I guess with all of Robin's, you know, what she creates, she could create anything with limbs. Like, she creates wings out of limbs. Yeah.
Savage.
That's interesting. Zoe, what's up? Zoe said, so wait, did the pirate rap lie to me? Randy, ... dripper emoji. He took a bite of gum, right? No, he took a bite of human. Took a bite of Hito. Took a bite of Nika. Yes. What's his name? Sean Conrad, right? Sean Conrad lied to us. Oh, man. Chin spitting. As long as there's an OP stream, there's me. Yes, I don't think I've ever been in a One Piece stream that I haven't seen Chin in. That's my guy. K-Pro. This awakening uses lifespan? Question mark? Like what Lucci said about Gear 2nd, this mode is like a berserker armor. Once he leaves it, he will feel big damage from the strain. Immortality, surgery, imminent maybe. Yeah. So I've definitely done a deep dive into what Lucci said about Gear 2nd in the past, you know, and talking about how Luffy's lifespan is going to, you know, catch up to him. Right? Because Eva took, collectively, we're supposed to, you know, at least 10 years, but probably 20 because there were 2 injections, right? So he lost 20 years there. Every time he uses Gear 2nd, every time he's using his gears, you know, he's draining his lifespan in a little bit. There could be a connection to the air, you know, that he's grabbing and putting back into himself. I like the idea of thinking about this as like a berserker mode, right? I talked about earlier in the stream that I feel like Luffy is still heavily damaged, but whatever this transformation is allowing him to sort of bypass that, forget about it. But when he exits this transformation, it's going to be like the end of Thriller Bark again, where he can't move, and there's going to be no one to remove that pain from him, potentially. And, you know, unless someone shows up with the Nikyu no Mi, right?
Another one.
To expel the pain from the Nika user, right? We got a lot of knees going on here, a lot of kya's and ka's. Yeah. Vivi shows up with the Nikyu and removes Luffy's pain. Kuma was the one who died all along. Yeah. I don't want Luffy to be able to move after this. I want there to be, you know, some consequences here. I want a mad dash. Like, we beat Kaido, but someone else shows up, and Luffy can't do anything because he thought everything was over, right? So then, you know, we have Sanji carrying Luffy away, or, you know, whatever, trying to get the crew off of the island, something, you know, I mean, like, we'll probably end with some resolution of Onigashima that allows everybody to get off safely, but getting off of Wano is going to be a whole other issue. So, we'll see, you know. Shout out to Gias Studio for joining. Thank you, man. There's really a lot to be said about that. And I think the immortality surgery, we've talked about that as well, is going to play into a lot of things. And, you know, now Luffy is going to be giving a lot of people hope now, right? Because that's the whole point of Joy Boy, liberation. Kaido was talking about in the last chapter that he was going to enslave everyone, right? And that awakened Joy Boy, the freer of the slaves. So he's coming down and he's like, you just said the wrong thing down here. Zoe, yes. Hashtag Vivi Gang, agenda once more. Vivi, VV. Yes. Vivi agenda will always be my top agenda. Zoe knows this. Alright. Beginning of this arc. I can't wait to see them again. From Vivi. Beginning of this arc. Luffy. Can't wait to see Vivi again. We're gonna see Vivi again. It's there. It's there. Dizza. Sanji's power-up chapter was called Warrior of Science. Luffy's power-up chapter, Warrior of Liberation. What will Zoro's Warrior of Hell? Yeah. Billy Madison. Kuma's fruit is out of the naming scheme now, isn't it? No. Niku and Niku is 2-9. So. But this is not the Nika no Mi. This would be the Hito no Mi. So technically, if we're going to do this whole number thing, right, 5-6 is no longer there anymore. So if there's another fruit out there that lands into the 5-6, that could be a possibility for a crew member. Because now we have 2 people with the Hito. But I don't think that Oda really needs to I don't think he needs to. I don't think Oda needs to like follow this number thing. Chin says, how many more till a new emoji? We got 3 members, so probably 3? Maybe? I don't know. Let me see. Yeah. 3 members, Chin. We still have over 1,000 people in here, you saying? We sure do. Oh, man. What a chapter. What a chapter. Usopp for the Goro. For the Thunder fruit? Anel is 5-6? Oh, yeah. Goro, yeah. So if Anel dies, then we could get Nami eating the Goro no Mi. That would be better than Usopp. What is the Fude? Does that match anything? Fude? Shout out to Nanno for subbing. Let's see. Where are the Randy memes at? Have they been? Did I have a funny reaction? Are there memes already? Oh wow! Got a big super chat from Milo. Oh, man.
Certified drip. It's about to get spicy.
Milo said, Shanks has bet on Luffy. I can totally see him hinting to the elders about Luffy's fruit. Yeah, we talked about that. For them to piece it together themselves, to kill him, to awaken it. Shanks had faith that Luffy would survive and awaken. Blackbeard must be close to something for Shanks to do it, though. Shanks bet on Luffy in Chapter 1. So, W's in the chat for Milo, for sure. Man. Yeah. I think there's, I said it earlier, but I think that there's something to this whole idea that Shanks was using the fruit as leverage with the world government for years, and they may have not known that he fed it to Luffy until that moment. So.
Savage.
And then,
Lavish bracket. In a lavish bracket. Lavish bracket. Gotta have it.
Another
Ranks, I
one.
gotta have it.
that's from Milo. I don't know why it didn't play it. Shout out to Kidlet. Thanks for joining. 2 more members until an emoji. Yeah. I mean, it was definitely has to be some sort of activated and death type thing. So. Barry said, people are at work trying to be social with me. Like, this wasn't one of the biggest chapters I've read in my almost 15 years with One Piece. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. This is one of the biggest chapters ever. Bravo had 9.2 thousand in his stream. That's insane. I can't even imagine trying to read everybody's chat if I had 9,000 people in there.
Savage.
Germany's biggest One Piece YouTuber had 6,000 last week. Wow. That's crazy. I mean, like, us hitting 2,000 is already absurd. Gabe C. Oda been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! He made a One Piece card game, then used Toon World on Luffy. Also, does this mean Yo-Ho-Ho Luffy didn't take a bite of Gum Gum? Yeah, we just talked about that when Zoe, came in. Oh, man. Yeah, over 9,000? Oh, there has to be, like, jokes about Brago having over 9,000. For the analysis, I'm gonna put the part where it's yo ho ho, we took him by Gum Gum, and then I'm just gonna cut to Tyler, the creator. So that was a lie. HPJ 3-1. If Zoro's in the underworld, do you think he might meet the dead Shimotsuki next chapter? Sanji fan, but Oda has needed Zoro development coming surely. Yeah. So I'd love to see him have a conversation with Kuina and sort of solidify his goals and his dreams, and something like that. It's a way for it to, like, not be cheesy and for it to work, because it's been set up that the underworld exists. Could he meet some dead Shimotsuki? Potentially, but I don't think that that's gonna really I don't think that that's gonna do much for him. But who knows. Scarfman said, do you think Kaido's been wanting Smile to replicate the Zoan Nika fruit, hence why the uncontrollable laughter is present in all smiles? So that's interesting. And I mean, we've talked about the idea of, when we were talking about, Joy Boy and all of this stuff, you couldn't be Joy Boy either. We thought that the smiles was sort of a way of, like, Kaido trying to bring that joy, but in a really twisted way, and like force the idea of Joy Boy. Yeah. Chin said, don't underestimate the power of streaming Randy. When the One Piece live action drops, 6K isn't a dream anymore. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Let's see. Oh. PXBX, Randy, so are you saying Queen is in the underworld? What did she do? I mean, Brooke was in the underworld, right? It's the same idea. Oh, Best Cams is here. Hey. It's always around this time too. It's always like, you know, once we're like 2 hours into the stream, we start getting the we start getting those like troll people. Saeed Abdo said Fude would be 210, so it would still be a number thing. I like that. I like that. I like that. M. Boogie said, I can't wait for Luffy's attacks to be Nika Nika no pistol. Also, do you think this is endgame Luffy, or do you think there's more power-ups coming? So I don't expect Luffy to say Nika Nika no ... because his fruit is actually the Hito Hito. So, but the other thing too is that Luffy doesn't know that his fruit is a Zoan. He doesn't know this. The world government knows this, okay? And people are going to say, because for some reason the community misinterpreted that Lucci line, you know, after 1037, they're going to think that now the fruit, you know, came in and whispered and went, Hito Hito no mi, Mado Nika, right? Because that's what everybody was saying. No, because when he ate the fruit, it came in and it went, Goma Goma no mi. No, that's not what happened. That's not what's going to happen. Luffy's not going to know about this information until the world government can tell him, you know, until someone that is like aware of what's going on is going to be able to tell him. So he's still going to say Goma Goma no mi, you know, Goma Goma no pistol, all of this other stuff, unless Kaido knows this information, right? And then that's why he said, Gomu Gomu, what was it? Gomu Gomu no? Because your fruit, you know, is kind of like the Hito Hito no Mi Model Nika. You know, just saying. So that could be something, that could be a gem that Kaido drops on Luffy, if he knows more of the history than we think. It could also be something that's in the journal, and it's something that Momonosuke or Yamato reveal to Luffy. But Luffy's just going to shrug it off and be like, oh, okay. So do I say Hito Hito no pistol now? Like I could see Oda drawing a thing like that. And then just looking at Chopper and being like, so we're the same? Like there's a bunch of stuff that could possibly be happening. Zoe said, the power of Big Rack Zoe brings all the cam bots to the yard. You know, Zoe, I think the last time you came into the stream last week, I think that's when we got the cam people too. So, Vashad said, yo, the cover has an octopus fruit. Nod to Blackbeard. Yeah, I talked about that. I was just like, oh, are we We deconfirming, or is that person like Hyozo, and they're like just an octopus fisherman? Jane Armstrong basically asked the same thing. Does the cover page debunk the theory of Blackbeard having an octopus zone? That depends on if it is an octopus zone or if they are part fishermen like Praline. So, Mira2548 said, it makes sense that this is a zone fruit since Luffy can't manipulate other rubber, produce rubber, and isn't Logia since he can't melt like Katakuri. Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. You know, because I mean, I've been talking about the producer type paramecias. Like most paramecias can produce what their, you know, what their form is, right? So I mean, we'll see if Luffy is able to do that, even though he is a Zoan now. You know, but then there are other Zoans that are similar to Luffy, like Buggy. You know, Buggy also cannot produce anything. He can't produce body parts, but he can manipulate his own, similar to Luffy could. So, is Buggy actually a Hito Hito no Mi model something as well? I could see Oda doing something like that. Buggy actually is a god. K-Pro N. Maybe the fruit has just been hiding its true ability from the users until it found a match. Luffy's never lost his will in desperate times. Impel down, Marine forward, and now his lowest point versus Kaido. Yeah, it's interesting that it didn't activate in other situations, right? Because he almost died against Magellan. It's very true. He was just being tested this whole time. And now it decided. On a moonlit night, 800 years from now, 20 years from now. Maxo. Luffy winds up for his final Gomu Gomu no pistol. Ain't I a stinker? Cartoon sound effects go crazy. Oh, man. Let's see. Catching up on the chat. My ASMR is whispering devil fruit names. Well, I was making a callback to the video that I did after 1037 when I was like calling the people out that thought that the fruits whisper things because he misinterpreted the line in Annie's lobby, right? And then I took the omelette du fromage joke from Dexter. So I was just saying it the same way. Unstoppable N8 said, I can see Luffy casually telling Chopper, yeah, so apparently we're the same. Yeah, exactly. Amrit said, man, K-Pro N sent like 120 or something this stream. W's for him. Yeah, W's in the chat for K-Pro N. They're a stream goat. They've been doing a lot of super chats, and I'm very appreciative. Let's see. Everybody's loving the idea of Buggy having a Hito Hito. Model Chuji. Yeah, we need that. Dizza said Chuji doesn't need a devil fruit to be a god. Facts. I might have to make some free Chuji shirts. Luffy finds out that he's a Hito user, and he says, "So does that make me a Tanuki now?" Mirror 2548 said maybe Luffy needed to enjoy the battle and be pushed to the brink for the fruit to be awakened. That's very Goku to me, though, for Luffy to like awaken because he's enjoying fighting. I don't know. Shout out to AIS for the sub. I mean, it's possible. It's possible that, you know, it's... I think it's more so the circumstance and the stakes that are on the line, right? Because it's like, if Luffy died and impelled down, one man dies. But if Luffy dies here, an entire island continues to be subjugated and is, you know, doomed. So, and Kaido spoke of enslaving, right? And it's like after he says that, the drums of liberation start saying, it's almost like it was voice activated. Like, oh wait, hold on. You're gonna enslave everybody? Hold on. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 right? And so there's an element to that as well. Maybe. So Luffy has to wake up because he is the one that needs to bring about the dawn. He needs to save Wano, right? Now, I still hope that the world government still annexes Wano. I'd love to see that after, you know, Kaido's defeated. Everybody thinks that they've won, and then it's, sorry, the princess is in another castle. They got to take down the world government, and then they've actually earned it. Then the world can truly be free. Because it doesn't matter if they free Wano here, because the world government is still active. They're still enslaving people. They're still doing all of these things around the world. So freeing one island, going like the same way that Luffy's been doing it, isn't going to continue to work. Can't just free island by island. We have to stop this at the root. You know, enough with the street dealers. We got to go up to the manufacturer. K-Pro said, thanks, man. Shipping out for work soon for a couple of months, so I can blow a few bucks. You the man. Oh, thank you, K-Pro. You the man. Shipping out. You in the Navy? You in the Marines, man? No, that's cool, man. That's cool. Shout out to Swaying Necklace. Join the channel. I think that means one more person and we get an emoji. Maybe two more? I don't know. Nope, one more. Shout out to Mr. Hyena. Can you read my last super chat? I mean, I went through and I if you're just returning, I went through and I read all of your super chats, I think. Let's see. Oh, okay. No, I did miss this one. What was your opinion when 4Kids did the dub for One Piece? I felt disgust. The more and more it went on, the crazier things that they did. The fact that by the time they made it to Drum, they had already cut like 30-something episodes from the show was unreal, unbelievable. So, I said it before on one of the other streams, like before it even came out, I knew it was going to be bad. And like young, you know, I can't remember if I was like 12 or 13 or 14. I don't know. I wrote a letter to 4Kids. I was like, don't do this. Don't do it. Don't ruin One Piece. There's adult themes here and you're going to ruin it. And they did ruin it. Savage. They ruined One Piece for like an entire generation. But people are slowly coming back. Jonathan R.K. Remember how Blackbeard was drawn as a kid in the SBS? The only one of the worst generation with an additional detail, sitting under the moon. Yep. The sun versus the moon. Blackbeard has the Hito Hito no Mi model moon god. K-Pro N, a welder. Okay. I do 2 to 3 month stints. Also, I got 2 hoodies. They dope. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Yeah. You know, we do have the store down below. You can get your Kaizoku drip. I'm gonna be making some new stuff soon. I actually wanted to get something ready for this stream. It actually would have been really appropriate. So I'm working on a shirt called "Started from the Barrel." So it's just gonna say "Started from the Barrel." You know, started from the barrel. Now we're here. So that's coming soon. And we started from the barrel, and now we're here at Gear 5th. So this is the time for that shirt. Movahed Sadegi said, "Hey Randy, can I get a half W for my Hito Hito no Mi Joy Boy that I said previously? I was so close." What is true? Yeah, you can get that W. Let's see. There we go. Boom. W for you, my man. Neil said, so 10:45, we're gonna have 2.5K. I mean, who knows? We just keep getting people. It's crazy. You know, we still have like almost 1,000 people in here. 900. Oh no, we do have 1,000 people in here. What's up, everybody? Subscribe if you're not. Like the stream. Heart balloon. His heart grew 3 sizes. Let's see. How long have I been streaming for? A little over 2 hours, I'd say. My guy. Ty. Sorry I'm late, Captain. My brain still hurts from this chapter. Mixed feelings from all the exposition from the 5 elders gave. I really want to see some pure Japanese translation for some of these lines. What up, Savage Crew? Shout out to the boy Ty. Yeah, man. I mean, after 25 years, we finally get the reveal of what the fruit is. Yeah. I do want to see what the translation for this is and the official. I want to deep dive. I want to see what some things are. I know that I had Saeed Abdo in here. Is Saeed, you still in here? Are there any like translations and stuff that you would say are different based on your read through of the raws and everything? If you're still in here, let me know. Because I saw he answered a question I had earlier. Barry said, I need a Kaizoku sweater, but Texas in April in all caps. It's only going to get hotter. Facts. Yeah. I need to reread the chapter. I haven't done that yet, because I still have to do the 10:45 spoilers. I need to go through again. I've still only read it once. I've just been going off of all of that. Seb Music said, I almost looked at the spoilers, and I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad you didn't either. Oh.
Kermit the Frog. I wonder why the 5 elders weren't more pressed about snuffing Luffy out during Marineford, especially after he activated his Conqueror's Haki and proved he could be a future threat. Well, you know, when your world is kinda weird.
Let's see. We've talked about this a little bit during the stream. There's a couple of possibilities for this. One, that they weren't entirely sure that this was the Hito Hito no Mi model Nika until Shanks told them during the reverie. And they just saw him as a threat, but now it's like, oh, wait, right? And the implication there is that Shanks was holding the fact that he had that fruit over the government's head. And that's what allowed him to walk into Marineford and, like, end the war and do other things. It's like, oh, because it's you, we'll see you, right? Because you have the Hito Hito no Mi model Nika, and we don't want you to do anything with that. But then he says, I want to talk about a certain pirate. Yeah, so Monkey D. Luffy, I fed him that fruit. And then suddenly, now they're like, oh man, wait, whoa, Dripper, go kill him. But Shanks knows that that's what's going to trigger Joy Boy, and that's what he wants. So I think that that's my headcanon right now. That they probably didn't know. But the thing too is that they've been wanting to kill Luffy this whole time. Luffy was sitting there being talked about after, like, by the most important people in the world, like right after he got his first bounty, basically. Like, they're not talking about every rookie like that. They're not talking about Bellamy. They're not talking about Caribou. They're not talking about, these other people. They were talking about Luffy, though. So, there's elements to that. And I mean, when you think about right at Eni's lobby, they were trying to kill him. They failed to capture him, right? And after that, Thriller Bark, people were talking about it earlier. Kuma was a double agent. He wasn't going to do it. Sabaody, Kizaru was there, but he had interference. At Impel Down, they failed. They failed at Marineford. He disappeared for 2 years. Then once they realized where he was, then they reactivated everything, but he hid in Fishman Island. They didn't know he was on Punk Hazard. They didn't know he was at Dressrosa until he was already at Zo. They didn't know he was at Whole Cake Island. Now they know he's at Wano, so then they sent Dripper to kill him. It's a timing thing.
Savage.
Weekly Shonen said, Luffy hit the pinnacle of perfection from Prince of Tennis. He's just having fun. Love the Super Saiyan hair, though. Feels just like Namek. Yeah, I guess this is what it felt like to be like a weekly reader of Namek in the 80s. Alright. Or would that have been the early 90s? Yeah, I guess it would have to have been like the late 80s. Ty said his debit card got hacked. Oh god. Oh god. Hope that gets fixed for you, my guy. I mean, most of the time with those sorts of things, they, yeah, it happened to Chrissy once too. It takes some time, but they normally get that all worked out.
Savage.
Let's see. Howard said, Hundo or not, Ty always the GOAT. Yeah. Ty gets his theme song no matter what.
Lavish bracket, in a lavish bracket, gotta have it. Racks, I gotta have it. Beat my fabric. Do you see this jacket? Do you see it? Pay my taxes. Trust me, you could track it.
As for Ty, even with his hacked debit card, he still gets the he still gets his song. Oh, we got Morgan here. Yeah, I heard you were in here earlier, man, but it was crazy. Everybody was flooding. I had just read the chapter, so I missed you in there. So he said, I thought this chapter was 11 out of 10, but curious if you felt the tension was broken a bit too quickly, based on the GC convos. So I think the tension was broken too quickly, and I mentioned that while I was doing my read-through. The fact, immediately it was on, page 2 or 3 when Marco and, Sanji and, I've only done one read of the chapter so far, so I can't remember everybody who was looking, but, even Nami and Tama were like, oh, he's alive, right? So everybody's, looking up, and they're either hearing the drums of liberation or their observation hockey's going off, and either way, they're recognizing that Luffy's not dead, right? I wanted this whole chapter to be Kaido, really hammering the dread of everything from 1043. and then we get Luffy like maybe at the end or something if we wanted to do that, right? But then having Luffy at the beginning and then everybody like cheering like, oh, Luffy's here, does break the tension, but it doesn't change the fact that the chapter is still monumental, right? So shout out to Gryson for joining the channel. We're gonna have a new emote. That's 150 members right there. So yes, the tension was broken a little bit, but the chapter was so good that I can forgive it, you know? But Morge said, yeah, no worries. When lots of chat's going on, I feel bad when reviewing the stream and realizing people came through and I missed it. Oh, yeah. You know, especially like right at the beginning of any stream, you know, it's... I feel bad when I miss people too, so... Morge said agreed. Yeah, you know, just wanted... I really wanted to see everybody, like, kind of solidify their own... You know, even though Luffy died, right, died. It would have been great to see some of the Straw Hats and some of everybody stand up to Kaido. Right? You know, he's saying, oh, I'm going to subjugate you all. I'm going to, you know, it's like, you're all going to be my slaves and everything. But if Luffy had inspired them enough to stand up to him, you know, sort of like when Robin and Gonfall, Wiper, and Zoro stood up to Enel, right? And then they all just kind of say, no, we're not having this. You're going to have to take us down. This is, you're going to have to come for us. Come for us. We're here, right? And I also think that it would have been great to have a conversation between Momonosuke and Kaido before Luffy came back down. That was another thing I was expecting that didn't happen, and I still feel needs to happen. Luffy's totally going to beat Kaido. There's like no ifs, ands, or buts about it in my mind. Like, he's going to beat Kaido, but I still think that we're going to get another player in here. And Luffy will probably, when he exits this form, be as useless as he was at the end of Thriller Bark. Because this is just Nightmare Luffy all over again. Morge said, with the eye emojis, my man. He's like, I'm biased, because the tension being broken deliberately early is a good sign to me. We'll get that still. We'll get that still. Yeah. Simon Briggs, shout out, said, Randy, love your videos. What a chapter. Need to see your reaction to it later. Oh, yeah. It's going to be there for you, man. It's going to be there for you. Movahid Sadeghi said, Captain, you missed my super chat on Blackbeard. Did I? I'm sorry. You know, I'll find it. I'll find it in the studio. Let's see. Movahid said, calling it Blackbeard wanted the Yami Yami no Mi to avoid this freaky Looney Tune power. He plans ahead and he's knowledgeable. I mean, there's a possibility. We've talked about a lot of different Blackbeard possibilities, you know, over the chat here, because obviously we've got the darkness and the sun, you know, parallel, and you know, let's see. 1045 cover story predictions. Well, apparently we're getting a color spread, so there's not going to be a cover story in 1045. So, what's everybody most excited for on this big March 28th reveal that's supposed to happen? I think we're getting some sort of a first look, a tease at Film Red. Would be great if we got some images from the live action, but I'm not sure. Still want that Kaido flashback. We're getting that. Don't worry. We're getting that. I still don't think that there's any way for us to get out of this act, mindless the arc, without a long flashback and then an epilogue. So, to sort of have this really good triangle style thing going on here. Chrissy thinks it's going to be live action news. It could be. It could be. I think it's film red though. Ty was dancing and crying, Captain. Lucy B didn't think that the tension was broken. I mean, I just, like I said, I just wanted to sit in that dread for just a little longer. Just a little longer, because 1043 was so amazing with how menacing Kaido was. I wanted to see everybody react to Luffy being dead and then have this, like, grand reveal when he comes down. And I think we were, like, I feel like we're missing a chapter. I feel like I just read 1045. And I wanted 1044. But still love the chapter. I would just add something else in between. Maybe the anime will flesh it out. K-Pro N said Aokiji let him go too along with Garp. Yep. Sword. They want to take down the world government, you know? Let's see. Isopod said, if Zoans have a will, what does Kaido's fruit want? Maybe that has something to do with why his personality changed so much since the King flashback. Potentially. I think it's more so that he, you know, just kind of realized that he couldn't be Joy Boy and, like, I don't know, tried to now manipulate all of that stuff into existence. Creating the smiles, creating fake laughter, creating fake, you know, joy. Let's see. Let's see. Catching up. Oda top 1043 with 1044. How's he gonna top with 1045? All right, so let's. Some people think it's gonna be a video game. I'm down for that. I need a new One Piece video game for sure. Zoe's out of here. New title is Warrior of S Camp. Oh God. We'll catch you later, Zoe. Let's see. All right. So, shout out to Keenan. Keenan B, Keenan SS. Said, finally, a new gear after about 7 or 8 years. Chapter 784 doesn't seem like that long ago, but it really was. Wow. Yeah. Had to be like 2015 or early 2016. Probably late 2015. Because we were in Zo in 2016 when I went to Japan. That's how I can sort of use the basis. Man. What a time, what a time. Yeah, we finally have a new gear. I didn't think we were going to get Gear 5th. I thought the Awakening would be something different, but I mean, it makes sense that Luffy would call it Gear 5th. So I'm into it. I'm into it. I want to see the potential of it. I want to see Luffy really dive deep into this bag, though. I want him to get into this bag real bad. Let's see. Ty said the Five Elders conversation felt mostly like that deleted scene from the Batman that's floating around. It spoon-fed too many plot points up. I just watched that scene right before I got into before I turn the stream on. So I get what you're saying there, man. Let's see. Tyrannosaurus said, damn, you're still going. Legendary stream. Can't wait for the VOD. I mean, yeah. Yeah, it's a legendary chapter. So, I mean, I don't know how much longer I'm going to go. I'm going to reread the chapter. We're going to talk about 1045. And then I'll probably wrap things up. So, I mean, we still have 800 people in here, which is crazy. We maxed out around like 2,000 and something. Mega wears Dr. Vegapunk t-shirt. I have to make more merch. I gotta make more shirts. I gotta do that. We're gonna do that. Man. 1044. Now, I remember, you know, a lot of people were talking about when the Gear 4th chapter came out, right? That, let's see. What was it? It was like 784, but then Gear 2nd was 378 or 387. And someone was doing like some sort of like crazy math where it like equaled out, like, I don't know, there was some sort of weird math around it, and I wonder if the math still holds up. Like if there's like exactly the same amount of chapters in between Gear 2nd and Gear 4th and Gear 5th or something like that. I don't know. Alright, so let's take a look here. Going back to this chapter, I still, like, I'm just amazed at this panel of, like, Gear 5th Luffy. And how, like, I think my favorite part about it is that Luffy still looks like Luffy, and it's not, you know, these, like, weird transformations. So. I'm loving this. When he pulls up the rubber wall, it says yoink. All these cartoon sound effects. This is awesome. Veneer said, only Oda can make you cry over a ship and laugh over Looney Tunes shenanigans in the same story. Oh yeah, we have a new emoji. So my Discord people, what emoji do you want me to pull from the Discord and put on YouTube? Let me know. Think about that while I'm doing this reread here. Let's see. Okay, first page. How can I still stand? I just lost. It's Joy Boy. Sanji's the first person to realize that Luffy's not dead. His observation hockey is crazy. Shout out to the boy Sanji. Evo said, I want a sideways Randy. We do have that emoji. We do have that. Marco knows something. Like, Marco's got this, like, knowing face. Everybody else is like, oh, but Marco's like, oh, wait. Barry said, of course he is. That's my man with the Sanji emoji. Best gear already. Looks wise, definitely. And it'll end up being the best gear, but I want to see more from it, you know. Mythical Zone. This is really, like, first of all, right? this is really Oda's way to get away with a lot of stuff that we're gonna see in the next bit of the series. Isn't it just basic observation? I mean, I might be reading into it, but you know, he's got like an indicator there, and there's possibly stuff that Whitebeard knew that, you know, him and Marco had talked about. He knows about some things, right? I mean, he knew about the Lunarians. So it's very possible. He's a mythical zone and may know about mythical zones. Who knows? Oh, Best Cams is back. Let's see, love the Hiyori and Orochi stuff. Really, really love this stuff. So needed, right? And this is that juxtaposition that I was talking about. That we can't beat Kaido until Orochi's out of the story. So that's why Oda had to do this. So we could see, we could, now that Orochi's done, like, Kaido could go down as early as the next chapter. And then we, like, start the Kaido flashback and we, like, you know, wrap things up by 10:50. That's a possibility, guys. We just get a whole chapter of Gear 5th, Luffy and Kaido scrapping until Luffy can really, you know, just finish the fight. Milo said, Zoe leaves, Cams reappears. Zoe's back. It's funny. Let's see. Man, this is so crazy. I love the giant arm that grabs Kaido. Like, that feels so right. It feels so right. It's like, get over here, like Enigma was saying earlier. Yeah. What a chapter. What a chapter. All of this craziness going on, and Oda reminds us, you know what? We're all supposed to be having fun here. Ian McLaughlin said, I think Luffy has cartoon powers. That's creating the yoink and Kaido's eyes popping out. It's his Katakuri / Dofi awakening. His haki is strong enough to even affect Kaido. For sure. For sure, I think he's able to bend and manipulate reality here. It's like the mask. It's really like the mask. Emil Diaz, I feel that Hiyori would make a great shogun. She would, if there's a Wano to have after all of this. Let's see. So, shout out to the 775 people that are still in here. I need a minute. I'll be right back, and then we're gonna get into spoilers for the end of the for the next couple of chapters, and then I'm probably gonna wrap things up. But I'll be right back, guys. Okay, so I left for a minute. I only lost about 10 people. We still have 750 people in here. All right, so let's talk about plot threads that still need to be worked out, right? Obviously, we need more information on Zoro. We need to figure out what's going on with Zoro. And let's see. Sophomore said, "Yo, Chrissy, where you at?" She's with Mars. Let's see. Let's see. Catching up on the chat. Kokeshi dolls that Brooke found. Well, I think that that's only going to tie into... the Kokeshi dolls are going to tie into Hitetsu revealing that he is Kosuke Sukiyaki. So... Denjiro. I don't know who that guy is, but I guess he should, you know, we should figure that out, right? All right. So we've wrapped up Hiyori and Orochi, which was one of the big things. So now Kaido can get defeated. But as far as like what's left for Kaido, I think he still needs to have a conversation with Momonosuke. I think that one more conversation with Momonosuke should happen, but it doesn't necessarily need to happen now that Luffy's already down. I think if we were going to stay down there and like deal with Kaido, you know, still wrecking people and all of that, that Momonosuke would have to get involved. I think that Luffy is going to be responsible for something that helps save Onigashima from crashing into Wano. You know, if he can use bubble powers, right, or bend reality and change the properties of things, then it's possible that, you know, if he can create a resin bubble, because he still does have the properties of rubber and resin is a property of rubber, then he could put a bubble around Wano and create and make it weightless like the bond bags at Sabaody, and then Momonosuke could easily tow Onigashima away, and then that saves everybody. If in this form he can just change the properties of Onigashima to where it's rubber, and then in this barren wasteland that they're over, it just sort of like bounces and then everybody can get off, there's a possibility as well. Let's see. We still need Kaido's flashback, but that'll come as Luffy's like putting his final beat down on Kaido. So let's see. I just noticed the panel of Chopper getting let's see. Sorry guys. My phone went off. Just noticed the panel of Chopper seeing Luffy come down, so that's cool. We need to figure out what's going on with Denjiro. I mean, he might show up now that Orochi is done, and then have some sort of plan to get Hiyori and the rest of the people off of Onigashima. So that's a possibility. Shout out to Kidlet, who said, Luffy's always been creative with his fights. I'm super excited to see what he'll do with this new power. Yeah, I mean, I've talked about a lot of different possibilities in my recent videos. I'm hoping that we do see, you know, a lot of them. All of them are within the parameters of what Luffy should be able to do, but we'll see. We'll see. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I thought I had my I thought I had my phone on silent. First of all, okay. I thought I had my phone on silent. I did not. Let's see. Brooke, Robin, Yamato, Momo. Yeah, we need to see what Schoolboy Collins is going to do with Robin and Brooke. We need to follow the thread of Frankie and Zoro. Those are things that could happen in the next chapter, but more than likely Luffy's going to want to keep going on this Luffy and Kaido tirade. But I mean, it's also possible that we split the chapter up. So we start back up with Luffy putting the beat down. We skip away sort of like we did with, you know, the Hiyori and Orochi stuff. We find out what's going on with Zoro. We find out, you know, we catch up with Robin and Brooke, and Schoolboy Collins is in front of them. For those who don't know, Schoolboy Collins is the other CP0 member. It's good that Sanji's back up, because that means that he can play a role in whatever the final piece of this is, so that if Vegapunk does show up, like, you know, it seems very likely, you know, we need to, those government ships have to play a role, and someone important needs to be on them. And if Vegapunk shows up and he's the true, you know, last minute villain, you know, so to speak, then that'll give Sanji the opportunity to stand up against him, because he'll be the only one left to do so. And then he'll have his nothing happened moment. Sanji, Frankie, and Momonosuke can all have their conversations with Vegapunk. And then we see what happens. Oh, Denny definitely on a milk carton right now, Gias. Anyone else curious to see Luffy eat a Rumble Ball? Yes. Mentioned that like right away. Let's see. Also, where are the Big Mom crew at? I'd love to see them going up against the SSG on those like ships, on the government ships, and then we use the SSG against the Big Mom pirates to sort of scale them, and then see how much of a threat they are when they like take out Big Mom's crew. Now, the other possibility is that they found the secret passage to Wano, right? And maybe that secret passage also somehow lines up with the hole that Law made and where Big Mom fell. So Big Mom falls and then lands and finds her crew that way conveniently. It's an Oda thing to do. Let's see. Do I think Kaido's apology at the end is underappreciated? No, I mean, we talked about it. Chrissy even said that was her favorite moment, was her, was Kaido apologizing for Dripper and Luffy just being like, it's cool, man. Let's get back to fighting. Let's see. Catching up. Sanji awakens through Chuji. What do I think is happening with Zoro? I think he's dead, and that he's got to move through the underworld to get back. So. Is Dripper really dead? I think so. I don't think that there's any sort of I don't think that there's any point to keep Dripper in the story, other than because we love him. Let's see. Mark Creasy, still going, big dog? Yep, still going strong. You know, we're wrapping things up probably, you know, in the next couple of minutes here. This is a monumental chapter. You know, I mean, I'm glad I stayed off the internet because I would have been mad if I saw a picture of Gear 5th. Like, I'm glad I was able to see it, you know, in here and not get spoiled that Gear 5th is in the chapter. But there's a part of me that feels like 1043 was better. Now, this is the objectively better chapter because we have Gear 5th and all of this, and this chapter changes everything. But 1043 had a lot of really subtle, like, character moments that I really liked. And just leaving us on that break, that's going to be something that I remember going into into this chapter, into the next chapter. It's going to, I don't know, it still changes it. I don't know if I can compare them. They're basically on the same level. They're on the same level. Like, this chapter literally is changing the story completely. How did Chrissy get spoiled? She read the spoilers so that she knew what to keep me away from. So it sucks. It just sucks that that's like a thing. I mean, she's chosen to do it to save to save me. Amir, did I read your super chat? Let me see. Just saw it. Amir said, did Shanks tell Buggy to watch over Luffy to see if he's the real deal? You're talking about at Marineford? When he gave him the hat? I'm pretty sure Shanks always knew that Luffy's the real deal. That's why he gave up his arm. Something that Luffy said to him in chapter 1, or, you know, in the time that he knew him, and we'll get another flashback or something. That's what set that up. Rob Volk said, now that we're reaching the climax, the Nine Shadows question mark. I mean, at this point, I wanted the Nine Shadows to come this chapter, but since it hasn't happened, I don't know if that's going to happen. The Nine Shadows, you know, could be something that doesn't even happen in Wano. It could be something that we see, you know, as like the final war. It might be a moonlit night during the final war, and we get Nine Shadows against the world government or something. Dizzle the Ghost said, when are we going to do a tier list for the chat? Tie number 1. Sorry, I missed those earlier, guys. Yep. W's for Chrissy. Let's see. We got to get a new emoji in here. I saw some people saying to bring Tama back. I saw some people to bring Sideways Randy back. Well, for the first time. Let's see. Are there any emojis that the members don't really like? You know, that want them to be like switched out or anything? You know, that's helpful as well. Let's see. Oh yeah, Chrissy totally has the Bari Bari no Mi. For sure. A true hero of the people. Oh, she pulled a nothing happened for sure. She pulls a nothing happened each week. But now with the way that the arc is heading up, it's like I just want to use my phone and go on the internet, and I can't. Where am I streaming? This is YouTube. This is YouTube. I do stream on Twitch too, though. But not concurrently. Not doing it at the same time. Yeah, I think, yeah, we could probably replace the king emoji. That one served its purpose, but king's out of the story now. Let's see. So we can drop the king one. Let's we should get the you know, use the king emoji for the last time, guys. It's gonna go away. It's gonna go away. Look at all the king emojis. Yep. King emoji about to be Zoropacked up for sure. Oh, man. In the arms of the angels, fly away from here. Oh, man. I love how many members we have in here also. It's amazing. It's a beautiful thing, a beautiful day. And let's see. Where did I put that emoji? We freed Chuji. The Chuji emoji is free. Yep. I think I'm gonna do it. Hashtag free Chuji shirts coming soon. Oh man, it's too funny. All right, I'm trying to find the emoji of me sideways. Oh, there it is.
It's about to get spicy.
It needs to be 1-to-1. Okay. Look at all those Chujis. Look at those Chujis. Look at them. Oh man. So what else is there to say? Yeah, I mean this is pretty much the wrap up part of the chat. We're already losing a bunch of people. We got Chad Ocho in here now. What's up, Chad? He's our resident rubber expert. How do you feel about this reveal, Chad? Let's see. Where is it? There we names. Replacing king with this. If you don't have the Chuji, refresh the chat. Like, refresh YouTube. Leave, come back in, and then you'll have Chuji. And you should also have me sideways from the previous stream now, which may or may not stay. But if there's any other suggestions for emojis from the Discord that we want as members and all of that, I can switch things in and out, and, you know, just let me know in general or an emoji, or even in the members only area on the Discord. You know, we can talk about what emojis we want, because I want to make sure that the emojis are as fun for you guys as possible. So there we go. We got the sideways Randys in the chat now. What am I looking at? Chuji's the next straw hat. Forget Yamato and Momo. So Saeed said the blonde elder's line should be the other name of the Gomu Gomu fruit is ... So it's not. So it's still technically, based on what you're saying, Saeed, that it's still the Gomu Gomu no Mi. It just has a secondary name as well. I'm loving the combinations, everybody. I'm writ with the Randy combo. Aragon said, "Just join the stream. Which chapter page is he at right now?" I've read the chapter. We've had a whole conversation about it for almost 3 hours. Stream's about to wrap up pretty soon. This is a great day, said Chrissy. Let's see. Chad, rubber expert. Okay, this is coming from rubber expert Chad Ocho. This man works with rubber, he works with polymers, he works with plastics. He said, "What's good, Cap? Still think a lot of rubber/resin stuff is possible." I do too as well. If it's only limited by his imagination, none of this stuff is out of the realm. If he still has rubber properties, that means he still has resin properties, liquid latex properties, natural rubber properties, epoxy properties, glue properties. Like, it's all possible. It's all possible. So Unstoppable N8. If Luffy goes to the underworld to get Zoro, do you think we could have a scene between Ace and Luffy there? I mean, that's a way to tie in a lot of the stuff with Ace as well. I think the best way, honestly, I think the best way to tie up all of this stuff with Ace in this, you know, in this arc, because obviously Ace has been a huge part of it. Yamato, Tama, all of this stuff, is to go to Sphinx Island after Wano. To have that be the next island that we go to. Luffy has a moment with Ace's grave. Tama can be there, Yamato can be there. They all sort of pay their respects. If Sabo is captured, it's a moment for Luffy to basically affirm to Ace, like, what happened to you, I'm not going to let happen to my other brother. And then, you know, we get the rescue Sabo arc. Or if Sabo's not captured, then it's a whole other thing. I mean, personally, I would love it if we get to a point where Luffy actually ends up being captured and he is the one that everybody else needs to go and save. And I think that would be a fun inversion of the Marineford arc. That we just focus on the crew and everybody else that Luffy has helped for, you know, an entire arc or saga, and then we go rescue, and then we have the rescue Luffy arc. That would be fun to me, personally. That'd be fun to me. Chad D. Rubberman. Yeah. Saeed said, another way to word... Let's see. I gotta read everything Saeed's saying. Another way to word the Dreadlock Elders line is, what if there was a future that's better this way? It's best to eliminate the element of anxiety. What if there was a future that's better this way? It's best to eliminate the element of anxiety. I mean, is he saying, like, maybe it's good if Joy Boy comes back? Like, are they afraid of Emu and all of that? They want to atone for their sins? I mean, that's the implication there. Dr. Jack said, I'll get signed up as my first membership probably here, you know. I'll appreciate that. You'll get access to all of the, you know, the emojis. Oh. When you see these new gas prices. It's facts though. It's facts. I need the oil no me so I can fill my car up. It's so tiny. Yeah, so the thing with the sideways me, right, is that for it to fill, I might have to crop it. I might have to crop it so that I lose my arm, and then it'll be bigger. I'll figure something out. It works better as a sticker on the Discord. Let's see. Chad said, got a half tank for 50 today. Yeah, that happened to me yesterday. I did a half tank for 45. Saeed, did I catch everything that you had said? Because I didn't want to miss everything. So. Wonder if I can search within the chat for just Saeed's comments. Said no, read it in the context of their conversation. Okay. So let's see. Going back to that page. Sacrifice one of our best agents and enrage Kaido. Are we sure our priorities are straight? This may be better than the alternative. It's imperative that we snuff out something that's problematic. Saeed says another way to say that is, what if there's a future that's better this way? It's best to eliminate the element of anxiety. Okay. So sacrificing Dripper for Luffy brings about the best case scenario for them. No matter the era, the world government has always failed to acquire the Gomu Gomu, even after 800 years of trying. It's almost as if the fruit itself is evading us. So much grant, just smacked into this. It's so crazy to me. Yeah. No matter the era, the world government has always failed. So I think I love the idea that was brought up earlier about, what if the reason that they never had it was because Toki moved it from time to time, right? But this implication saying no matter the era would mean that it has been in circulation for 800 years. So, Now, Toki would have likely had to have made a couple of stops, and she even implies that she had done so. So maybe, there may even be a situation where she had the fruit, but then she lost it along the way and then, like, kept jumping into the future anyway. There is the possibility for that, but I don't know. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to think about here. Let's see. Oscar Cruz is gonna go. Appreciate you, man. I'm gonna be wrapping things up here pretty soon. Let's see. Yeah, oil prices are very high in the U.S. Chin. Close to the highest I've ever seen. The highest I ever saw was in 2007 or 8. Those are pretty high. Now, granted, on the West Coast getting hit real hard. Harder than the East Coast. Let's see. Jay Armstrong said, figured you'd be done. Started watching Tekking's review. He mentions each person on the cover page by name. Octolegs is Charlotte Prim. Okay. Alright, so we've seen Charlotte Prim before. I wonder if Charlotte Prim has a Weaver card that says whether or not she is a half fishman. Because otherwise, evil might be in the mud. Hiyori said the samurai in plural, not singular. She said he spat in the face. Okay. Prices are too damn high. Yep. Alright, guys. Let's see. We've still got 600 people in here, which is incredible. This has been a monumental affair. I'm so happy, and I feel blessed to be able to have experienced, this chapter with the community that we've created here. And man, I'm looking at this Hiyori panel, and I love that Oda gave it the space to breathe. Like, he really just gave almost an entire half page to Hiyori's anguish. I love that. I really love that. I love it. Sorry, got distracted paging through the chapter. Anyway, this is awesome. I wasn't doing YouTube stuff when Gear 4th came out or anything like that, but this kind of feels like that. It feels like Gear 2nd again. It really feels like Gear 2nd. More than Gear 4th. Because Gear 2nd, that's what got people trying to understand the properties of rubber. We're in a lot of so-called rubber experts during Gear 4th. It was just kind of like, wow, this is cool. Vern said, I've been gone for so long and the stream is still going. Holy hell, this is a legendary stream. It's a legendary chapter, and when the chapter is this good, it kind of dictates that. I try to keep these things to 2 hours, but I think I took 2 hours just to get through the initial chats. And then we were having the thing. Wait, Randy, next chapter predictions. I think
Savage.
we could really get to a certain we could get to a certain point where it's believable that Kaido is going to go down in the next chapter. I think a reasonable expectation. So let's say headcanon dictates that Oda wants to either end the act or get to a significant moment by 1050, right? Which makes sense. Oda loves numbers. So 1045, we could start with Luffy beating down a little more on Kaido. We could cut away to a page of Zoro and Frankie with, some sort of bombshell there. We could get Schoolboy Collins landing in front of Robin and Brook, then come back to Luffy and Kaido and get to a point where it looks like there's about to be a final blow against Luffy and Kaido, and then Kaido's flashback begins. And then we're in Kaido's flashback for about 3 or so chapters, and that takes us 1046, 1047, 1048, 1049. We kind of finish the Kaido fight. 1050, we're kind of sort of in the epilogue portion, and then some sort of big reveal or third, element antagonist, whether, we find out who's on the government ships, whether it's Vegapunk shows up, or Shanks shows up, or Blackbeard shows up, or the Revolutionary Army shows themselves. I think that sort of makes sense in a similar way. It's really just the Robin and Zoro threads that need to get sort of wrapped up now while Luffy's fighting Kaido. And the biggest thing of all was Orochi and Hiyori, which is now over and done with for the most part. MVP, Hiyori and Luffy, I don't know if I want to choose between the two, but Rosia said 2 hours is too damn short for this type of hype. I believe it. I'm right with you. I wouldn't have been able to consolidate all of this into 2 hours. I wouldn't have been able to do it. But either way, we don't have a break. Definitely a blessing, Phantom. And maybe final round. We're in the final round. Luffy is going to beat Kaido. Luffy's going to beat Kaido. Whether or not Wano gets saved in this whole scenario is the question. Once Luffy exits this form, I'm fully expecting him to be as, beat down as he was at the end of Thriller Bark. So Vern said, I'd be interested to know how his sub count was affected this stream. My sub count? Let's see, I was at like 22,500 and something. Now I'm at 22,669. Nice. Need Zoro's heart to be beating. We'll see. We'll see. I'm open to either. See. Meanwhile, Flower Capital Citizen still chilling, unknowing. Yeah, I don't know how Oda wants to handle that, because it seems like the implication that was set up from 1039, 1040, when we saw Law's Awakening, when he silenced the entire explosion with Big Mom away from the people, it kind of implied that Oda is trying to keep that innocence within those people, So they may never know. If Oda wants to get out of this arc with and have a happy ending to Wano, then they'll never know what happened. They'll just know that Kaido's gone and Luffy saved them, and that's it. But they'll never see the looming Onigashima, which I thought was going to happen to replicate what we've seen in just about any other arc. But Law silencing that thing was a big tell for me, that it's like, I guess, you know, these people have been through enough, but I still feel like they're going to be through more from these world government ships, so I don't know, maybe futile. Might be futile. Movahed Sadeghi said, Warrior of Liberation, doubt he would not liberate. So, that's the thing, you know, he's the Warrior of Liberation, and he's liberated every island that he's been on and all of that, but I think it's going to go one of two ways. Luffy is going to liberate Wano. He's going to finish Kaido, and then they're going to be safe, and everything is going to be happy, and someone's going to be the Shogun, and I don't think it's going to be Momonosuke. But then there's also the opportunity with these world government ships, and I'm only really saying this because the world government ships are there, and they want to annex Wano. They want the drunken iron ore. They want the weapons. They want all of this stuff. They don't care about these people, right? So if Luffy is completely out of any sort of frame of mind where he can fight once the fight is over, then we get the world government coming on, and the SSG proved to be, you know, sort of like the pacifistas in Saba Odium. We don't know how to, you know, combat them, and we need to like sort of come up with a plan. And then Sanji leads the, you know, the front with the crew and gets everybody off of the island for the time being. And they go to Sphinx or something to sort of like figure things out. Momo's with them. He's supposed to become the Shogun of Wano. He leaves Wano in disarray. All of these SSG take over Wano. And then it just becomes this thing where it's like the only way that they're ever going to free Wano is if they stop the world government. Point blank period. So it's a motivator for the end of the story. Do I want these people to be, you know, subjugated even more? You know, I mean, this goes back to the mini reverie that we did. You know, Murphy Napier was like, no, like they've been through enough. And I'm like, yeah, sure, they've been through enough, but how does that get us to the end of the story, though? That's the whole thing. Like, everything's being set up for Luffy to save everybody, sure. But we still have to get to that ending. We have to. If Oda wants to end this story, and the world government is the end thing, and he's supposed to be the warrior of liberation, and he's supposed to liberate the world, which he's going to do, right? We need just a little bit more motivation for that. And if they lost Wano, then we could start going, you know, directing ourselves into, you know, the world government saga or something now, so that we're going to finally defeat the world government and free the world, and then in doing so, we're also going to free Wano. So it's a twofold thing. Momonosuke has a dream that moves forward, that follows onto, you know, why he would be on the ship, because his dream lines up with exactly what the end game of everything is. Saeed said, the sound effect in the panel before Kazembo burns Orochi means tottering, staggering, faltering, reeling. Interesting. Vern said, I have to bounce once again, though. Absolutely cannot wait to watch the stream back later. Yeah, I am really going to end the stream after, you know, that big thing. You know, we got 1 or 2 more minutes here, really. I did eat right before, because I knew, I was like, this is, if everything's hype, this is probably going to end up being like a 3-hour stream like the other one was. Well, the other one was close to 4 hours, you know. So, let's see. And... let's see. Randy's gonna wrap it up yet. There's still almost 600 in the chat. I appreciate everybody for being here. I appreciate everybody for being a part of this monumental moment, and the community, and our community, and the community at large. This is amazing. This is phenomenal. All right. This is literally changing everything. So yeah, this one's pretty close to 4 hours too. They were at 3:41. So wrapping this up. Thanks so much, guys. Analysis, you know, probably out on Monday, like normally. You know, I mean, I try to get them done by Sundays, but it doesn't work. So it'll probably be out on Monday. I'm gonna do a bunch of research. I'm gonna finally go back onto the internet. I'm gonna read the Discord, see what everybody's saying. I'm gonna look at all of the memes. Finally open my Twitter back up. And yeah, I'm excited for 10:45. We talked about what that could possibly be. We'll see if that, you know, if it lines up. And this is really exciting. This is really exciting. Hoping the next time we have a stream, it'll be for spontaneous one for One Piece live action news. Yeah, well, I mean, there's going to be that stuff that's going to come out on Monday too. So, you know, whatever that's going to be, there'll probably be either a stream or a video for that, depending on how important it is to talk about it. And 600 goats, said Chin. Cold Zero said, I've seen the theory that Kaido turns a new leaf after getting his Joy Boy closure and winds up getting his honorable death while protecting Wano. So protecting Wano from the world government. There's a possibility. I talked about that a little bit, but I think Kaido doesn't necessarily need redemption. He's done awful things, and he should get reprimanded for that. So, yep. Chin's gonna throw some dirt in your eye. Chrissy's gonna throw some dirt in your eye. All right, that's what she's saying in the chat. Chuji, liberation. Liberation! Yeah. Alright. Feeling good. Feeling good. I feel like I've awakened. I can finally use the internet again. Man, I can be a person. At least until Monday, when the next round of spoilers drop, I guess. So, alright guys, thanks so much. I'm ending it now, and I'll see everybody real soon. Later.